It's time for Avon Varsity Football on Audio Sports Online. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by McDonald's, Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, and Red Cobra Wrestling. Avon Varsity Football is an AudioSportsOnline.com production. Now let's head out to the field for tonight's game.
Avon Orioles are fresh off of a big victory last week when they knocked off then number 6 Fishers 36-26. The victory for the Orioles pretty much threw the entire Hoosier Crossroads Conference title chase into one big mess, with now 4 teams all saying that they have a shot at the HCC title. Tonight, the Avon Orioles, they go on the road, and they're going to take on one of those teams that has a shot at that title when they play the 5A number 7 Westfield Shamrocks tonight on Audio Sports Online. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oriole Football on ASO. My name is Brian Scott. I'll be joined shortly by the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne. Avon 4-2 on the season, 3-1 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. A huge win for Avon last week and knocking off previously undefeated in conference play Fishers 36-26. It was pretty much a dominating performance by the Orioles all night long. Brandon Peters, 10-19, 203 yards, 4 touchdown passes, and they've got he also put 80 yards on the ground as well, as 3 Orioles combined for 195 yards. Darian Love rushed for 49 yards, and Derek Tennant, we saw him get a lot of action last week. We hadn't really seen Derek the past few weeks. He had 12 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. Tonight, Derek returns to the starting lineup as the starting tailback for head coach Mark Bless's Orioles. It was a big game, and it was a big win for Avon. What it means, the Orioles control their own destiny as far as the Hoosier Crossroads Conference title. They have 3 games remaining. Tonight they'll play the Shamrocks. Next week they will host the Zionsville Eagles before they wrap up the season with what could be a huge game at Noblesville. But first things first, they're going to take on a Westfield Shamrocks team that is also 4-2, 3-1 in conference play, and ranked 7th in Class 5A. And I bring in the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne. And Coach, last week's game, it couldn't get any bigger, and we saw the Orioles, after losing to Brownsburg 2 weeks prior, they came back with a nice win against Whiteland. But what we saw also last week was a continuation of the game at Whiteland. We saw a lot of great intensity from the Orioles, and it carried over to the big win.
Well, I thought they played by far their best game of the year. They played with a lot of confidence. They were outstanding in every phase of the game. They ran the ball very well. We all know Brandon Peters is a great passer, and he had a good game throwing the football. Defensively, they played with great intensity the entire game, forcing a lot of turnovers out of Fishers, and that's not generally their style. They're a real solid team that doesn't make many errors, and the Orioles forced them, I believe, into 4 or 5 turnovers last week. And in the kicking game, we had the block punt, and they just dominated play from really pretty much from start to finish. It was, I think, the best game we've seen them play all year.
The Orioles, well, they had another great running back they had to contend with in Maurice Campbell last week. And while Campbell got himself some yards and he got himself a couple of scores, he really wasn't the dominating factor. As a matter of fact, Fishers had to go with a 2-tandem back set with Jermaine Huddleston and Maurice Campbell. And I thought Orioles did a pretty nice job. They got their yards, didn't really let them hurt. The Orioles really didn't let those 2 big backs hurt Avon in last week's game. This week they'll face again another great running back in the Westfield Shamrocks, Alvin Campbell. Shamrocks, they are ranked 7th in Class 5A. They are the state runners-up in 5A from last season, and Coach Jake Gilbert has another good team. Gone are their starting quarterback from last season, Nick Ferrer. Wide receiver Devin Reese now plays for Ball State. And Frank Grimes was one of their big running backs from last year. But Alvin Campbell comes into tonight's game, and he is having a very, very fine season. coming into tonight's game. He's averaging over 116 yards per game, and they came off of a big win last week against the Brownsburg Bulldogs. They held a 21-0 lead at the half against Brownsburg. In fact, they took it up to 28-0 before the Bulldogs managed to put 21 points on the scoreboard in the fourth quarter, but by then it was simply too little too late as the Shamrocks came away with a victory. Their starting quarterback, junior Ryan Pepio, he was 12 of 22 for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns, but no interceptions in that contest. While rushing the ball, Evan Caldwell, the senior running back, 25 carries, 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is a load, and that is something that Coach Jay Gilbert has had here at Westfield the past couple of years. You're going to see a lot of offense. You know that you'll see that with the Westfield Shamrocks. They run a spread offense, and while when we take a look at the stats, you're going to probably see more offense and better passing numbers out of the Shamrocks. It is just one of those things where they just simply get off a lot more plays than anybody else.
Well, they do a really, really good job mixing things up. They give you multiple formations. Their running game is, I guess, what I would call a little bit more of a finesse running game. They're in that shotgun offense a bunch, and they just try to keep you, kind of off keel a little bit defensively, mix things up, try to make you, have to play multiple formations. While really it's really a pretty basic and pretty simple offense. Coach Gilbert has done a terrific job since he came to Westfield from Wabash College. He's assembled a nice staff. They've established a nice program here. They don't beat themselves. They're well coached. They come out and play really strong football on both sides of the game. And last year, for them in 5A to make it to the state championship, this has always been a program that's been kind of on the verge of stepping up to the big time. And for a 5A school to win the Hoosier Crossroads Conference like they did last year, I think really makes a statement.
We are going to take a quick timeout. We'll have a little bit more about what we expect in tonight's game, and then we'll have the kickoff between the 9th-ranked Orioles in 6A, the 7th-ranked Shamrocks in 5A. This is Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.
Stop in any Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's and try one of their two $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger. McDonald's is a proud supporter of Avon and Brownsburg athletics and is proud to host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show, taped Wednesday nights on location and aired Friday nights before football on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. McDonald's has 2 locations in Brownsburg and Avon. In Brownsburg, they are located at the corner of Main and Odell next to Marsh and just off Green Street next to I-74. In Avon, you can find them at the corner of 267 and 36 next to Kroger or on Rockville Road next to Meyer. Stop in either Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's for their $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger today. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Redd. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind Sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com.
Welcome back to Westfield High School. The final time the Avon Orioles will play on this stadium field as the Westfield High School, well, they'll be getting a brand new football field next season and a brand new stadium. Matter of fact, the field is actually already installed here. If you drive up State Road 31 as you're heading maybe to Kokomo and you drive by Westfield High School, you'll see the new stadium field, the goalpost, and everything is up over here at Westfield. They just need to put the stands in and a brand new press box, which we've been told is going to be outstanding. So final time that we will see the Avon Orioles here on this field, one of the few natural grass fields still around in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, and they'll be on a brand new turf field beginning next week. The Orioles and the Shamrocks, well, this is going to go a long way to deciding which one of these two teams might be in line for a Hoosier Crossroads Conference championship. Both teams only have one loss in the conference. The loser, well, they're going to be a game back, and they're going to need some help if they have any aspirations for an HCC title. The winner, well, they put themselves in a driver's seat for either a co-championship or maybe even an outright title. So it's a big game for both of these two teams tonight. As we take a look at the statistics coming into tonight's game, the Shamrocks, they put up some points and they put up some offense. They come in with over 206 yards per game rushing, and they throw it for over 255 yards per game. So they will put it up, they will run the ball, and they will pass the ball. So even though it's a spread offense, they will run the ball well, and they will throw the ball well. They come into tonight's game averaging almost over 37 points per game, while in conference play, they've only given up 92 points in their 4 conference games. For the Avon Orioles, they're rushing for a little over 179 yards a game and throwing for over 200 yards a game. Avon comes into tonight's action averaging over 29 points per game. And defensively, well, they're one of the better teams in the HCC, with only Noblesville doing a better job defensively in conference play. The weather is going to be a big factor here tonight. As you are looking at your monitor, Westfield's field runs east-west, with the west being to our right. There is a stiff wind coming from the west, gusting up to upwards 25 to 30 miles per hour, and probably a good steady 20 miles per hour. It is a very chilly night. We have already had a little bit of rain, and we will see, maybe on your monitor, you will see the umbrellas and the ponchos already out, as we are expecting possibly some more rain as this game progresses. I also mentioned it's a very chilly night, so it's going to be the weather is probably going to play a factor in tonight's game. We do expect rain. Hopefully we will not see any lightning that may cause this game to be delayed by any stretch. So we are getting ready here for football in just a little bit. As I mentioned, both these two teams, they are looking for a Hoosier Crossroads Conference championship, and they've only got 2 more games after this to get things done. For Avon, it'll be a big game next week. They will be home. It'll be senior night. They'll have the Zionsville Eagles coming to Avon, and it will be the senior night. Right tonight, Zionsville is playing Brownsburg, where the Westfield Shamrocks next week, they will be at Fishers. So if Westfield wins tonight, they've got to like their chances, and then maybe if they can knock off Fishers next week, they have a good chance for possibly an outright HCC championship. If Avon wins tonight, they have one more team. They're gonna really pull for Westfield next week, and then they'll close out the season with Noblesville. As you're looking on your monitors and you see the Avon Orioles now coming out onto the field. Let's give you the particulars for tonight's game. I mentioned the Westfield Shamrocks. They're 4-2 on the season, 3-1 in Hoosier Crossroads Conference action. They come into this week ranked 7th in Class 5A. They won last week when they defeated Brownsburg 35-21, and as I mentioned, that game was 28-0 early in the 4th quarter. Brownsburg put 21 points on this Shamrock team, but by then the game had pretty much been decided. The head coach of the Westfield Shamrocks is Jake Gilbert. He's 24-17 in his 4th year at the helm of the Shamrocks, 54-53 in his 10th year overall. The Avon Orioles are coached by Mark Bless, 36-17 in his 5th year at the helm of Avon, 185-84 in his 25th season overall. The Orioles are ranked 9th this week. They jump up 5 spots after defeating Fishers last week. So the Orioles ranked 9th in Class 6A, a 4-2 record, 3-1 overall in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference matchup. The last 14 times these two teams have played, it has been decidedly one-sided. Avon is 12-2 in those matchups. But last year, the Shamrocks came to Avon, and they defeated the Orioles 17-15. If you remember that game, it really all came down to the kicking matchups, and it was Avon missing an extra point. That forced the Orioles to chase points all night. Meanwhile, Nick Dowd hit a big field goal for the Shamrocks that allowed the Shamrocks to walk out of Avon with the victory. The Orioles, they'd like to repay that tonight, and if it comes down to a kicking matchup, Shamrocks, they still have their senior kicker, Nick Dowd, and it will be a very tough night to kick indeed here at Westfield High School. We are waiting for the appearance of the Westfield Shamrocks, and as you look now on your monitor, you'll see him coming through the big helmet. You'll see pink all around Westfield High School tonight and on the field, as it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The cheerleaders have their pink pom-poms. We've seen players from both sides wearing the pink socks. We see pink towels around. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month kicks off, and it is being noted here at Westfield High School. Temperature at kickoff is going to be around the mid-50s, maybe even lower, and it could dip in to the mid-40s by the time this game is over with. And as I mentioned, a very, very stiff wind blowing from right to left as you look at your monitor. And it will be interesting to see what these two teams do in relation to the coin toss, as the wind is going to be a factor as the Shamrocks make their way out onto the field. Coach, it's going to be maybe a little challenging of a night to throw the ball, but both these teams have excellent running attacks. Derek Tennant and Darian Love, for the Avon Orioles, and Alvin Campbell for the Shamrocks.
Well, I think the key, both offenses really are pretty well balanced. They have the ability to throw the football, and they throw it with a lot of confidence, but they're not finesse teams. They both can play power football. They're both very physical teams. Defensively, they're going to line up and hit you. And I think the biggest change, with Westfield is that, you mentioned the unbalance of 12-2 or 14-2 that Avon has won. But I think in the last couple of years, Westfield has kind of grown up. They're playing with a lot of confidence. I think in the old days, a little bit, I think they had a little bit of a little brother complex. They didn't feel like they could really play with the big boys. And I think right now they feel like they can go out and line up and play with anybody, anywhere in the state, whether it be 5A or 6A. I think, the growth of the community, the growth of the program, Coach Gilbert coming in here and establishing a good, solid base. I think they really feel that they can come out here now and compete with the Avons and those Hamilton Southeasterns and the Fishers of the world. And I don't think they come out nervous anymore. I think they come out expecting to win, and I think we're going to see a great football game here tonight.
Ryan Pepio is the starting quarterback for the Westfield Shamrocks. He takes over for very accomplished Nick Ferrer, who did all sorts of great things here at Westfield. Pepio has taken over for this program, and all he has done is throw for over 1,260 yards, 7 touchdowns. He has been picked off 6 times. As we take a look, Avon has won the toss. They have elected to defer, and it will be the Shamrocks that will receive first. However, that could be a good thing for Avon. If this game stays close, then the Orioles will likely have the wind at their backs to begin the fourth quarter. We'll see how that goes. But Ryan Pepio, on the season, 1,268 yards, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He is throwing for over 211 yards per game, and their big running back is Elvin Caldwell. He's rushing for over 116 yards a game, and he has 11 touchdowns on the season. And it will be the Shamrocks that will get the ball first as we get ready for football here at Westfield High School. So pull up a chair, and we hope you enjoy Oriole football on Audio Sports Online. The rain has picked up once again. We are expecting rain on and off throughout this football game. It's a cold, chilly wind, and as the rain comes in, the wind picks up. So it is really going to probably make a big difference for the Shamrocks. They are going to be running right into this biting wind, and the rain's going to be at their face. So we're ready for football. Big Hoosier Crossroads Conference Championship implications on the line as Alex Steffen is ready to kick this football away. And he puts a foot into it, and it'll be taken at the 2. Coming up to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 25, and finally drugged down is Brandon Karsnick. And the Shamrocks will have the ball 1st and 10 as we get this football game underway. The starting quarterback, as I mentioned, is a 6', 201-pound junior, Ryan Pepio, as they are over on the sideline, and the Shamrocks will start this football game at their own 26-yard line. So opening play of this football game, and of course the Shamrocks go into the spread with Pepio working out of the pistol, Caldwell behind. And the give is a play-action pass. Pepio rolls out to his left, fires downfield, pass is incomplete, penalty flag comes in. Pass was intended for Bryce Sears, but a penalty flag on the play, and it looks like the Orioles might be guilty of a pass interference.
Well, not the way you want to start if you're Avon. You've got the advantage of the weather here a little bit. Westfield come out, try to loosen things up here a little bit, try to be a little bit unpredictable. Picking up a 15-yarder on the first play hopefully is not going to establish a tone, but that's certainly the way that Westfield would like to start here. It's not the way Avon wants to start.
15-yard pass interference penalty moves the ball up to the 41-yard line where Pepio and Caldwell work out of the pistol. Gives to Caldwell, finds some room over the right side, and he's going to be stacked up and finally brought down. Thomas Williams, the 5'10", 220-pound senior backer, with the tackle. Let's give you the Shamrocks offense. The offensive line, Jonathan Mendoza, Jordan Long, Ryan Poppy is the center, Austin Dollins, and Renzo Alvarez. Tight end is Bryce Sears. Wideouts, Max McCoo, Milo Beam, and Ben Loftalion. The running back is Elvin Caldwell, and the quarterback is Ryan Pepio. It is 2nd down, about 6 yards to go. Ball spotted at the Shamrock, just shy of the Shamrock 44. They'll work out of the pistol, 3 wides to the far side of the field. Avon working with almost a 4-3 look for this game. We'll give you the starters in a minute. Here's Caldwell. He looks for some room, and it's shot down and brought down. Brian Fitzgerald, who has been moved from a safety to linebacker tonight. He comes in, shoots across the line of scrimmage, and makes the tackle for about a 3-yard loss.
He's really had a nice season for Avon this year. He's a sophomore, but he's one of those kids that's kind of stepped up. He's played like a veteran the entire year, and he's to the point in the season now where he's being very comfortable defensively.
3rd down, about 10 yards to go as they empty the backfield. 3 wides to the top of the formation, 1 to the near side. Pepio on 3rd and 10. Belden applies pressure, and it's picked off. Jumping in, Braden Luce. And we saw it last week where they moved Braden Luce from the offensive side of the ball to the defense, and Braden, with those wide receiver skills, stepped in and made the interception.
Braden's just one of those good, solid football players. You know, as a receiver, he caught the ball and blocked and made plays, and they liked his toughness. And, you know, when they got down a little bit with some injuries, they moved him over to defense, kind of taught him on the fly. Last week he played very well, and here he comes up with the big play to start the game already for Avon.
So Brandon Peters brings the offense out. They'll have the ball in Shamrock territory at the 46. Derek Tennant with the run, still running, and he breaks through to the 20, to the 20, to the 10. Derek Tennant on the first play runs at 46 yards, and the Orioles are on the scoreboard.
Well, Derek was hurt. You know, that's why he's been out here the last couple of weeks. But Derek has a little toughness to him. He plays with that, strut and walk that I always talk about. He's a tough kid. He's got that little chip on his shoulder. He's a good teammate, but when he gets out there, he thinks he can get the job done. He doesn't mind stepping up to block, and, he just ran through a number of tacklers here for a big touchdown for Avon.
Alex Steffen is actually going to kick the point after. The kick is up. And the kick is no good. We were expecting Sam Perino to do the place kicking, but it is Stephan, and the point after is no good. And that's much like what we saw last year at Avon. The Orioles ended up chasing an extra point all night long. We'll see if it comes back to bite them here, but they're on the scoreboard first. Avon leads the Shamrocks 6-0. Back with the kickoff in a moment. This is Oriole football on ASO.
Stop in any Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's and try one of their two $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger. McDonald's is a proud supporter of Avon and Brownsburg athletics and is proud to host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show, taped Wednesday nights on location and aired Friday nights before football on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. McDonald's has two locations in Brownsburg and Avon. In Brownsburg, they are located at the corner of Main and Odell next to Marsh and just off Green Street next to I-74. In Avon, you can find them at the corner of 267 and 36 next to Kroger or on Rockville Road next to Meyer. Stop in either Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's for their $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger today.
Alex Stephan's kick is sent into the end zone for a touchback, and the Avon Orioles, Braden Luce picks off a pass from Brian Pepio, and the Orioles, one play later, 46 yards, Derek Tennant takes it to the house, and they lead Westfield 6-0 alongside the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne. I'm Brian Scott. 10 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first quarter, and the Avon Orioles with a 6-0 lead.
Well, that first play with the pass interference didn't look good for Avon, but, boy, after that, the interception and a long touchdown have certainly put Avon out here in front, early in the game. It'll be interesting to see how Westfield reacts.
Brandon Karsnick gets the carry. He takes it over the left side, picks up a couple of yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. Defensively for the Orioles, this week they're running much more of a 4-3 look. Across the defensive front, Joe Belden, Gunnar Larson, Trevor Barnhart, and Rashawn Brent. The linebackers are Matt Thompson, Thomas Williams, and Brian Fitzgerald. The corners, Nick Handlin and Gabe Laxton's, as coming in and getting incomplete, is coming in to make to get the football there was Brian Fitzgerald. Nick Handlin and Gabe Laxton are the corners, and Braden Luce and Drew Shayatovich are the safeties. It'll bring up second down in about 7.
Yeah, good pressure that time by Avon, almost resulted in another interception. Looks like we probably have a holding call here on Westfield from the flag, and the fact that they're talking to Joe Belden out there from Avon. But good pressure by the defensive front. You mentioned it's a 4-man front tonight. With Westfield throwing the ball as much as they are, it looks like Avon has decided to get out of that 3-man front, go to a 4-man front, see if they can put a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, and right now they've got him backed up pretty well.
They'll move this ball all the way back to about the 8-yard line. Will be 2nd down and about 20 as Pepio and Caldwell will work out of the pistol. 3 wide receivers to the near side as Pepio now looks over to the sideline as they'll change the play. Plenty of time on the play clock as Pepio waits for the snap. He'll take the snap on the delay. He'll give it to Caldwell, that is not Caldwell, that is Brandon Karsnick. Karsnick will pick up about 12 yards, and he'll take it up to about the 20-yard line. That's the original line, or to the 22. Pick up a 12, it'll be 2nd and 8. It'll be 3rd and 8. As the rain continues to fall here at Westfield High School. 3 wideouts to the near side, the McCool, Beam, and Loftalian. Sears to the far side. And now Pepio will move Karsnick to his left. Pepio with the ball, fires over the middle, pass incomplete through the hands of Milo Beam, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, so far, everything seems to be going Avon's way. They've had good field position. The rain right now obviously makes it tough if you're going to try and throw the football. It's also tough on offensive linemen because you just can't dig those cleats in the ground, to come off and get the run blocking. So right now, Avon looks like they're going to get good field position, and they're already up by 1 score.
Joe Crambier is going to punt this ball, but he's going to be punting into a very stiff wind. Back deep, Braden Luce and Andrew Griffin. Rugby-style kick. It's a low kick that squirts along the ground, and Well, indeed, the Avon Orioles are going to have excellent field position as this ball is going to fall right down on the midfield stripe. The Orioles had it on the Shamrock 46 to begin their last drive, a drive that took all of one play as Derek Tennant took it 46 yards to the house. And now they'll start this one at the midfield stripe, leading the Shamrocks 6-0. 9:03 remains in this first quarter of play, and Brandon Peters brings the offense out onto the field. Derek Tennant will go out, but they'll throw to the near side, looking for Andrew Griffin. That ball was a little low and too hard for a little too much out of Andrew Griffin's reach to be able to bring that ball in.
Yeah, good call to start the series. Westfield appears to be backed up a little bit. I don't know if they're afraid of the long pass or the long gainer, but little bubble screen that time with the soft corner play was a good call. The pass was just a little bit short and fell incomplete.
Cole Rightly and Andrew Griffin to the near side. Braden Luce is in as a wide out to the far side on this 2nd down and 10. Peters works out of the gun. The give is to Derek Tennant. Derek looks for some room, and he runs hard, but he's finally going to be brought down. I believe Darren Milton made the tackle for the Shamrocks. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, same play they scored the touchdown on earlier. I really think Westfield defended it pretty well, but I think they stopped a little bit when it looked like he was going to be tackled. He just kept fighting and kicked out. This time defensively they came up and made a very fine tackle.
4 wideouts with Matt Moore, Cole Rightly, and Andrew Griffin to the far side. Braden Luce to the near side. Derek Tennant to the left of Brandon Peters. Low snap, but Peters picks it up, fires, looking down the field, incomplete. Can't really tell if he was looking for Matt Moore or Andrew Griffin. Kind of threw the ball beyond Moore and in front of Griffin. That'll bring up 4th down.
Right. Westfield gave a little different look that time. Westfield actually went to a little 3-3 look and stacked the linebackers and, faked the blitz and looked like they were going to bring a lot of people, and then actually ended up dropping a lot of people off and, kind of clogged up the intermediate zones where Avon was trying to attack, and there really wasn't anybody open.
Kobe Hauser will be a single safety back for Westfield back at his own 10. Alex Steffen to punt this ball away. He's got a stiff wind to his back. And he will kick one that will take a bounce, and it will take a Shamrock roll into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And Westfield has had 2 drives. The first one ended in an interception. The second one ended in a 3-and-out. And now they have the football once again, trailing 6-0 with 8 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
And again, not really good field position. They have to start this drive from the 20, on a night when the weather's not good and the field conditions aren't excellent. Field position is really going to be a big factor.
Pepio will give the ball off, and coming to the near side and making a move. Here is Karsnick. Karsnick breaks a tackle, and he's going to be brought down from behind. Tackle made by Matt Thompson, and the football was loose, and the Orioles say they came away with it, and they did.
Well, an outstanding run. I mean, very similar to Derek Tennant's touchdown for Avon. He kicked through a couple of tackles, looked like he might actually pull away and go for the touchdown. Matt Thompson, as this is many times, he chased it down from behind. He's got that good flat-out foot speed. He caught it from behind, and not only did he make the tackle, but he stripped the ball clean, and here's Avon starting again with field position about midfield.
Ball will be on the Oriole 46-yard line. Second turnover by the Shamrocks in this contest. Avon with a 6-0 lead. Back to pass as Peters fires over the middle. Has the pass complete. Pass looks like it's completed to Matt Moore, and Moore's going to be stopped at the Shamrock 43-yard line. Very close to a first down, and indeed they will give him forward progress of 10 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Avon at the Shamrock 43.
Yeah, good safe call on first down. Matt Moore is a tight end, but he's a great athlete. He's the third receiver in, which means you're going to line him up against linebackers, and he's just got a little bit too much athletic ability for linebackers.
Here's the give to Derek Tennant, looking for some room around the right side, cuts it up the field, and Derek's going to have a pickup of about 5 yards on the play down to the Shamrock 38-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Orioles.
Yeah, Derek looks healthy. He's running the football. Now it looks like the same way he did that first game we saw down at Lucas Oil against Lawrence Central when he had the big night. He's running hard. He's running with confidence, and he's really honking it up in there at the line of scrimmage.
Griffin to the near side, loose to the far side. They bring in Zach Patustik in an I-back set as Brandon Peters will bend under center. 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Tennant right up the middle, and Derek will pick up about 4 yards down to the Shamrock 34-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 1 for Avon.
Avon right now just kind of mixing it up a little bit. A little pass here, a little run, just trying to figure out, what it is that Westfield has spent all their time trying to take away. Westfield is, a little bit similar to Fisher's last week. A little bit of a bend but not break. They'll give up a 1st down or 2. They hope not to give up too many big plays.
Brandon Peters will just take that big frame and then power ahead. He'll pick up about 4 yards down to the 30-yard line, and Brandon Peters, 6'5", 195 pounds, just kind of getting behind his big center, Brady Nyland, a 5'10", 250-pound senior, and the Orioles pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, Avon off to a good start. Forcing 2 turnovers here. We're not even 6 minutes into the game, and they're playing. They got a little pizzazz right now in their offense. They're coming off the ball. They're mixing things up. They're throwing the football a little bit. The running game looks good, and right now Avon appears to be in sync pretty well offensively.
Checking over on the far sideline, looks like Brandon Peters is getting looked at over there as the training staff and the official is over there as well, and evidently no problems there as they wind the clock with 6 minutes, just hitting the 6-minute mark left to go in this 1st quarter. Avon leads 6-0 alongside Dave Shelbourne. I'm Brian Scott. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side as Peters will work out of the gun as Westfield stacks the box. Here is Tennant looking for some room around the near side, and he's not going to find a whole lot as it looks like the Shamrocks were expecting that. Coming in to make the tackle was a strong side linebacker, Stan Mattingly, a 6', 174-pound senior. It's going to be a loss of 3 back to the Shamrock 33-yard line.
Well, I talked last week about what I thought both teams did a little bit poorly defensively, and that's have a contained man, get somebody outside to turn the play back in. That time Westfield did a great job outflanking the Avon offense and forcing Derek to turn it back in where there just wasn't any room.
Tennant will line up to the left of Peters out of the gun. Brandon back to pass. Has time now, breaks loose and takes it up the field to the 25, and he'll slide down at about the 23-yard line as he will pick up about 10, but it will still be about 3 yards short. It'll bring up 3rd and short for the Orioles.
Yeah, Brandon just continues game after game just to make really good mental decisions. Westfield defended that very well. They covered the receivers. He took the look downfield, wasn't there. He knew he was running out of time. He found an opening, took it as far as he could go, and then safely slid. And, he knows that they've got other plays to come back here, too. But I just really like the mental decisions that Brandon Peters continues to make.
3rd and 4 for the Orioles. Peters with a give to Tennant. Or no, he'll keep it. Looks for some room around the right side. And Brandon on a nice little play action as he faked the handoff to Tennant, rolled to his right, and picked up 4 yards and just enough for an Oriole 1st down.
He's the heart and soul of their offense, so you don't want to expose him to big hits too much, but he's also too good an athlete not to take advantage of his running ability. That time, little read option. He saw the defensive end close. He knew he could keep the ball and pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Ball's on the Shamrock 19-yard line. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go 1st quarter. Avon with a 6-0 lead. 2 wide outs to the near side. It's Rightly and loose. Peters back to pass. Flings it out the right side. Derek Tennant, and he is going to get down inside the 5 before he is pushed out of bounds on that far side. I believe Ryan Rubix knocked him out, the cornerback, but a nice little job of Tennant leaking out of the backfield. Peters finds him, and Derek takes it all the way down to the 3.
Well, that's what I would call that's a scouting report call. That's something that you see in film study during the week. They do a nice job on the wideouts. They must have seen something that they don't pick up the backside of the backfield as well. Derek came out of there pretty cleanly and picked up the 1st down.
I backfield, Batustik and Tennant. The give is to Derrick, and Derrick is going to run it in virtually untouched from 3 yards out, and the Orioles tack on 6 more points. They currently lead 12-0 with 4:11 left to go first quarter.
Well, we're not even 8 minutes into the game right now, and, Avon really just hasn't made many mistakes, and I really don't think at this point it's a Westfield, it hasn't played well. They've had the 2 turnovers, but right now Avon just seems to be dominating play.
Alex Steffen back for the point after. He missed his first low snap, but a good job by Drew Shayatovich to get it down. Steffen puts it through, and with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in this first quarter, Avon extends their lead 13-0. Back with a kickoff in a moment. This is Oriole football on ASO.
Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
The second Westfield turnover results in another Avon Oriole touchdown as the Orioles complete a 9-play drive covering 54 yards. They do so in just under 4 minutes, and Derek Tennant runs it in from 3 yards out. Avon leads 13-0 as Stefan gets a foot into this, and it'll be taken at the 2-yard line by Cameron Harrison. Harrison moves and jukes, and he's finally going to be picked up and slammed down. As coming in, I believe, to make the tackle for Avon was Scott Campbell. And the Shamrocks will have the football, and it's going to be just shy of the 20-yard line, spotted at the 19, 1st and 10 for Westfield, who trail 13-0 with 4 minutes and 6 seconds still remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, Westfield kind of searching right now. They got to find something to hang their hat on here to move the ball offensively.
Pepio fires, pass incomplete. Little too high as he was looking to the near side to Andy Sweet. Looked like Gabe Laxton's and Drew Shayatovich over here near the coverage, but the pass too high, it flies out of bounds, and will be up 2nd and 10. Pepio still works out of the pistol, drops back on the delay, hands the ball off, and going nowhere is coming in to make the tackle there. As
Williams again from middle linebacker, and I think Joe Belden.
Joe Belden also, as it is Brandon Karsnick that's getting the bulk of the carries here. We were expecting Elvin Campbell, but it is Brandon Karsnick, a 5'5", 146-pound junior, that's getting the bulk of the carries for the Shamrocks. 3rd down and a long 10 yards. Pepio play action, gives it to Karsnick, leaking out of the backfield, and he'll get very, very little. It's coming up to make the tackle was Bryant Fitzgerald from his outside backer position. And it is a quick 3 and out for the Shamrocks as the Oriole defense comes up big.
Well, we're matching their intensity right now. I mean, it's, they're in a hurry-up offense. I mean, really, they're taking less than a minute off, running 3 plays and punting, and they're punting the ball back to Avon's offense, who right now is clicking on all cylinders. So, right now it's all Avon.
Cranbear back to punt, and as he gets this one gets caught in the wind, but it will take a Shamrock roll. And the Orioles, who have yet to start a drive that wasn't beyond their own 40-yard line, will start this drive at their own 42, up by 13 with still 3 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, tough to predict the weather, but I'm not too sure that if he had it to do all over again, that Coach Gilbert wouldn't have taken the win if he could have predicted the win, because Avon deferred, they got the ball, but the wind, I think, has been as big a factor as anything here in the first quarter.
Peters will have Tennant to his left. Wind's still a factor, but the rain looks like it is let up. as Brandon will give it to Derek. Derek finds a hole, dances to the 50, makes another move. He has 10 yards. He has a few more. He'll drag a few Shamrocks for a couple extra yards, and Derek Tennant will take it into Westfield territory down to the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Avon.
Well, they ran a little zone play right there, but they pulled the left guard. I think it's Zach Ryan, and he made a great kickout block. Gigantic hole there for Derek, and again, he's running with a lot of confidence, but he's able to do that because the Avon offensive line right now is doing a fabulous job up front.
1st and 10, Orioles, ball at the Shamrock 46-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the near side. 1 will line up to the far side. Now it will be, I believe, Darian Love to the left. As Love gets his first carry, he spins. He gets an extra yard to the 30, and inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Big pickup for Darian Love of almost 16 yards and another first down for the Orioles.
Well, that's a great combination. Darian and Derek both have, pretty similar styles. They both attack the line of scrimmage with a lot of quickness and a lot of toughness. And at least at this point right now in the game, Avon is just really coming off the ball hard. They're knocking Westfield off the ball and allowing those 2 outstanding running backs to run.
1st and 10. As here's a give to Love. He takes it out to the near side, and he's going to be brought down. Coming in to make the tackle for the Westfield Shamrocks, believe, is Jacob Eccles, a 5'8", 148-pound senior safety, but a pickup of about 1 for Darian Love.
Avon's been attacking, pretty much just, straight power football that time, tried to run a little counter play. Westfield very wisely, being well coached like they are, they stayed at home and they defended it very well.
Clock moves, 1:41 left to go first quarter. Avon with a 13-0 lead. 2nd down and 9, ball at the 28-yard line. Brandon fires up to the right side. It is complete with the football over there on the far side. I believe is Derek Tennant, who had lined up as a wideout, and he keeps pushing, and he might have enough for a first down for Avon.
Yeah, almost deflected. The defensive end came free. I mean, the fact that Brandon is 6'5", I think he really threw over it where any other quarterback, that ball might have been tipped a little bit. Great catch, nice run, good play.
They line Derek Tennant out as a wideout to the far side. He makes the catch, picks up the first down. Now he heads to the sideline as Darian Love remains the tailback on this 1st and 10. Rightly and Griffin to the near side, loose to the far side. Ball at the Shamrock 18-yard line. Peters back to pass. Looks, fires over the middle, incomplete. He was looking over for Matt Moore. He had Moore open, but a little bit of a misfire, and it'll fall incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the way they're playing the secondary right now, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Andrew Griffin on a little slant pass or a little short post down the middle. They're trying to play too deep. They're playing off of him. They don't have anybody crowding him on the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he's got a little room to run out there right now.
Moore, Griffin, and Riley to the near side, loose to the far side on this 2nd and 10. Westfield blitz. Love is going to be stacked up. Penalty flag comes flying in.
Always a hold when it's thrown in there.
I believe Mike Patterson made the tackle, but a penalty flag comes in, and the officials will take a look at it, and it is indeed a holding penalty against Avon. So Avon will be pushed back 10 yards, and it will be 2nd down and about 20 as they'll spot the ball back at the 29-yard line.
You can just tell when it comes that quick and it's thrown at that spot. Been around too long.
You know what's coming. You just turn your head and say, okay,
Absolutely.
50 each. Clock moves.
And when you get them on the sidelines, it's always, I didn't hold, Coach. I swear I didn't hold.
Clock is moving. Under 50 seconds left to go in this first quarter as the Orioles lead the Shamrocks 13-0. Split backs as Peters is back to pass, fires down the field. Gabe Laxton's incomplete. Gabe had the mismatch in the end zone as Gabe, we saw him with a couple of nice catches last week, including a nice touchdown catch. And he brought it up, tried to bring it down with one hand, but it falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they tried to hold him up. He did a nice job kind of avoiding the bump coverage there at the line of scrimmage. He's a big kid. He's 6'4". I think he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable running routes. He's really a DB by trade. Actually talked to him in the cafeteria today. We were kind of laughing about learning a couple more pass patterns because he just is a threat because he's just such a fine athlete.
Laxton's will stay in the game as he lines up on the far side of the field. 3rd down and 20 for the Orioles. 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. On the delay, they give it to Derek Tennant. Tennant cuts it, and he will take it down to about the 25 and no further as he is stacked up there. And an interesting call here. Does Coach Bless use a timeout on this 4th down before the clock runs out and they lose the wind at their backs?
Well, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing to do here. The wind, we're in the press box, so you can't tell for sure. But, boy, you can sure tell by the way the flags are blowing right now. And when we look at the flags across the field behind the Avon participants over there, and it's blowing pretty strongly. So the timeout here, I think, would be a good decision. See if we can put 3 more up on the board when you have that advantage.
Coach Bless does indeed call a timeout with 10 seconds left. That should the Orioles be able to make this, they would also be able to kick with the wind at their backs. But it is Alex Steffen that is going to be kicking. I take that back. That is not Alex Steffen. Yes, it is. I was thinking for a minute there somebody was going to play little tricks, but my eyes just aren't what they are. I just need new glasses. But it is Steffen. He's going to be tempting a 41-yard field goal.
Your young eyes are a lot better than mine.
A 41-yard field goal. Should Steffen make this would still allow the Orioles to kick with the wind to kick off. High snap, good hold, long kick. Kick is up, and the kick is good. The timeout pays off. Alex Steffen nails one from 41 yards out, and with 6 seconds remaining in this first quarter, the Orioles extend their lead to 16-0.
Well, Coach Bless is a wily veteran. He was smart enough to know he's been around. That's a timeout that's well worth taking the timeout. And 16-0 at the end of the first quarter. I thought Avon could come in here tonight and play well, but this is actually a little bit more, I think, than I expected, and I think that Westfield expected as well.
So the Orioles get the 41-yard field goal off the foot of Alex Steffen. They increase their lead to 16-0, and they will still be kicking with the wind at their backs, but the Shamrocks will get that win to begin the second quarter, but already in a hole, 16-0. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. 6 seconds remain in this first quarter. A 9-play drive culminates in the 41-yard field goal, and Steffen is ready to kick this one deep to Brandon Karsnick or Cameron Harrison. High kick. This one's going to sail into the end zone, and the Shamrocks will actually have to have one play with the wind in their face, and the rain has picked up once again. And I would say at the beginning of this game, the wind was a good steady 20-22 miles per hour with gusts up to 25. Right now, it is blowing even harder than that. The rain that we're looking in the light stanchions is going sideways.
Yeah, it looks like it's 120 miles an hour from here.
So a good stiff wind, and the Shamrocks will have one play as they bring out their offense, and it is once again Brandon Karsnick, the tailback, as Pepio will just hand this ball off to Karsnick. Karsnick will get maybe a yard or two, and that is all, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. Avon Orioles with an outstanding first quarter. They take advantage of a couple of Shamrock turnovers, and as we switch ends of the field, it is the 9th-ranked Orioles 16 and the 7th-ranked in Class 5A Shamrocks nothing. Back in a moment. This is Oriole football on ASO.
McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
Welcome back to Westfield High School. Second quarter, ready to begin with the Orioles up 16-0 alongside Dave Shelbourne. I'm Brian Scott. Pepio and the Shamrock offense on the field. Here's Karsnick, and he will go nowhere. He tried to make a cut, slipped, and coming in to finish him off was Bryant Fitzgerald. This is a part of the field that really hasn't seen a whole lot of action. Most of the Orioles drives have begun from their 40-yard line in toward Westfield. So this side of the field hasn't had a whole lot of action, and right now it is 3rd and 10 for the Shamrocks. It has been a tough night for Pepio in the offense, or Perio in the offense, as he drops back to pass, fires wide open was Ben Loftalian, and Loftalian could not bring it in as the pass was behind him, and it will be another 3 and out for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, they needed to take advantage of that. That was a good play call. They had a crosser running across, linebacker trying to chase him. He was wide open. Quarterback had plenty of time to make that throw and just missed.
Joe Crambier finally has the wind to his back as Andrew Griffin and Braden Luce will put their heels back at around their own 40-yard line. Crambier will set up shop at about his own 5. Shamrocks will spread it out as Crambier gets a beauty of a punt. This one's going to drive the Orioles back. It'll take a bounce, and Luce will take it at his 25. Braden goes to the far sideline, and he will run out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. And once again, the Orioles have the football. They're up by 16, but now they have the winds in their face. And the wind and the rain we can still see blowing sideways. It'll be right into the face of Brandon Peters in the offense.
I'll tell you, just looking across the field, those flags are hanging onto those poles for dear life. So, if we throw the football, it's going to be very, very difficult to throw the ball downfield very far.
Matter of fact, the Orioles will put split backs, and now they'll bring a man in motion. That is Tennant. And they'll swing it out to Derrick. Derrick tries to cut it upfield, tries to make one man miss, but a very nice tackle is coming over for Westfield. To make the tackle was Jacob Eccles, as he had Derrick Tennant one-on-one in the open field, and Eccles came in to make a fine tackle for a loss of a couple on the play.
I do like the call by Coach Moore, though. I mean, really, that's just kind of a well-designed sweep. You're trying to get Derrick Tennant out in the open field. They threw in the little bubble screen. Westfield's defender just came up and made an outstanding open field tackle.
4 wideouts, 3 to the far side. Peters works on this 2nd down and 12. Brandon stops, fires out, same play. Here's Derrick Tennant, takes it up the field. This time he'll pick up a few yards. Picked up maybe 4, but it'll bring up 3rd down and about 8 for Avon.
Well, there's that maturity factor again. They had two wide receivers that ran downfield on slants. Westfield did a nice job defending them rather than force the football in there to a receiver that wasn't open. If they're covering him downfield, somebody else has got to be open. He took the wise decision, threw it out short to Derrick. Not a long gainer, but a very safe throw and positive yards.
Gabe Laxton comes in as a wide out to the far side. 3 wide outs to the near side on this 3rd and 8. Here comes the blitz. They get it to Gabe, and it's in and out of the hands as Gabe drops the football. Once again, I believe this time Noah Smith on the far side was there to defend the play. And for the first time tonight, Avon goes 3 and out.
Well, again, good decision by Brandon. He had the right receiver. Gabe is a good athlete, but I think that's where that, little bit of experience and maybe lack of practice time on the offensive side caused him not to be able to make the catch.
Kobe Hauser will sit back at about his 40 as Alex Steffen now will deal with the wind in his face. Alex gets this one in, a low kick. The wind hangs it up, and it will be down. It actually hit off the back of Braden Luce, who was gunning down the field, and they will say that's where it's touched. And the Shamrocks will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. They trail 16-0 with 9:41 left to go in this first half of action.
I may need to talk to him. I mean, he kept that ball under the wind. If I could get, hit my golf ball like that, when it's really windy out there, that would be a nice advantage.
Shamrocks with the football, trailing by 16. As here is the keeper by Pepio, as he'll take it up the middle, breaks a tackle. He will get out to the right side and finally be knocked out of bounds over on the far sideline. Braden Luce finally able to take out Ryan Pepio, and that's the best offensive play that the Shamrocks have run tonight. And they are finally in the Orioles territory at the 38-yard line.
And the Westfield fans finally have something to be excited about.
So 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line as they will move Karsnick back into the pistol. Pepio, as this one's messed up. Pepio was looking to the left, expecting Karsnick to be there, but he had already moved Karsnick over, and I think Karsnick figured he wanted that ball on the right side, and Pepio lucky to get a couple of yards out of that. So 2nd down and 8, ball at the Oriole 35-yard line. Clock moves as we approach the 9-minute mark left to go in this first half. Avon up 16-0. 3 wideouts to the near side. Pepio looks over in Avon front. They bring a blitz, and it gets through Pepio's hands, and he will fall on it. Orioles showed blitz. Brian Fitzgerald from his outside linebacker position was coming. Ball was high and slipped through the hands of Ryan Pepio, and it's a loss back to the 44-yard line.
Now, center, I think, was a little unnerved by the blitz look and really put a little bit too much on that ball. It was tough for the quarterback to handle.
So now 3rd down and about 17 yards to go as Ryan Pepio looks over to the sideline as the play clock winds down to 6. Pepio in the pistol. Will drop back to pass. Pump fake. Blitz. Bombed right there. Coming in to make the tackle, I believe, was Rashawn Brent. And Brent just came in, picked up Pepio, and brought him down. And the loss is all the way back to the Shamrocks' 49-yard line.
Yeah, he ran right over the offensive tackle. There was no blitz. There was nothing fancy. That was just a matter of Rashawn wanting to get there. He ran right over the offensive tackle to cause the sack.
So the Shamrocks' best drive stalls out, and most of that was by the feet of Ryan Pepio as Crambier will punt this ball away. It's a high punt, and the wind is going to take this one, and they will get Shamrocks will get I think a little bit of a favorable roll as it will roll all the way down to the Oriole 22-yard line as the Avon defense, once the Shamrocks were able to get in Avon territory, Avon defense comes up big, pushes the Shamrocks back, and the Orioles will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 23.
Yeah, Avon's defense continues to play well. They played, I thought, the last 3 quarters last week. Not only are they stopping things, but they're forcing turnovers. Tonight they've dominated Westfield's offense and produced a couple of turnovers.
4 wideouts, 3 to the near side. Peters, as Shamrocks show blitz, here's the give, and taking it right up the middle, I believe, is Derek Tennant for a gain of about 3 yards to go, 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, trying to hit a little quick hitter. He hit the line of scrimmage pretty well. The hole closed up in a hurry, but again, not a bad first down play.
Ball will be at the 25-yard line, 2nd down and a long 7 yards as Andrew Griffin comes out to the near side. Tennant stays in the backfield, and now they'll shift and bring Matt Moore as a tight end right. 2nd down, let's call it 8. Shamrock show blitz, but here's the give to Tennant. Breaks through the hole, up to the 35 and down up to about the 37-yard line. It'll be enough for an Oriole first down as Tennant exploded through the hole through the offensive line, and he picks up the first down at the Oriole 38.
Derek's hitting the line of scrimmage as quickly as I've seen him hit the line of scrimmage. He's a quality back. Again, I keep talking. He's got toughness, but boy, he's hitting the line of scrimmage in a hurry.
More Griffin and Rightly to the near side. But the give is to Derek Tennant, and he eludes one man, but he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Is coming up to make a nice tackle for the Shamrocks, I believe, was Stan Mattingly. And it's a gain of only about a yard for Derek Tennant, so it'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Westfield looks like they're still in their base. I know they've got lots of time here. Not a lot of blitzing, still playing their 4-3, still playing back, playing that zone defense. And, right now just kind of content to try to contend with the Avon offense.
Peter on 2nd and 9, back to pass, and he will throw this one away. And this is going to be very interesting. I think he got it past the line of scrimmage, but that's always an interesting call with the wind the way it is right now. As Brandon tried to get it up in the air, he might have had the danger of that being blown back before it hit the line of scrimmage.
Well, as a former quarterback in me, I'm going to tell you that's just a great decision. It wasn't there. Don't take a chance. Don't force it. Don't take the loss. The wise decision there, if you get your ego involved, it hurts your pass completion percentage. But other than that, that's the only thing to do to help your team.
Rightly and Griffin to the far side of the field. Braden Luce is the wide out to the near side on this 3rd down and 9. Peters with the give. Derek Tennant up through the hole, up to the 50. He has the first down, and he is into Shamrock territory as they'll spot the ball at around the 48-yard line.
Well, that just shows you the confidence right now that Coach Bless and Coach Moore have, with the play call. It's 3rd and 9. They ran the football, and I know you've got the wind to contain with here a little bit, but they're feeling comfortable and confident running the football. The offensive line, I'm sure, is over there, when they're on defense, telling them that we can run the football at any time. And, actually that time they did. That's a great gain on a 3rd and 9.
1st and 10 from the Shamrock 48. 5:25 left to go first half. Avon with a 16-0 lead. Tennant will take it up the middle, and then he'll be met and pushed back by Stan Mattingly once again, a 6 foot, 174-pound senior linebacker. And Derek's going to kick up only about a yard on that play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, played much better that time by the Westfield defense. Linebacker ran up in the hole. The way you stop a running game like that is to attack it a little bit. Derek hit the line of scrimmage in a hurry, but their linebacker met him and, kept the gain to 1 yard.
Gabe Laxton's in as a wide out to the near side. Tennant was looking for some room on the left, cut it back inside where he found a hole, and Derek's able to pick up maybe a couple of yards up down to the 45-yard line, but it'll bring up 3rd down in about 7 for Avon.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to cut it back a little bit that time and lost his footing, just a little bit when he tried to make the cut. And, Avon is faced here with a very rare for them tonight 3rd and 7 situation.
The rain has stopped. The wind has not. And for this 3rd down and 7 with the clock moving at 4:16 left to go in the first half. Avon up 16-0. Peters back to pass. Has plenty of time. Fires down the field. Pass complete and then incomplete. Now they were looking for Cole Rightly, and I believe we're going to have a targeting penalty against Westfield. Penalty flag came in from the back judge, and the defender looked like he went up high. We'll see what the penalty is. Cole bounced back up, and we'll see if it's we'll see if this is a pass interference or a targeting penalty. It's a dead ball foul, personal foul against the Westfield Shamrocks.
Yeah, they were talking to Westfield, but I think they were just explaining to him what had happened.
So that ball's going to be spotted at the 25-yard line of the Shamrocks. And that penalty is huge as it keeps the drive alive, and the Orioles have the ball. As they are, I believe they're going to double-check the clock. As the officials are now there, they're checking the spot of the ball. So they are spotting the football to the 30-yard line. That is what the conversation was about. And Avon has a 1st and 10 from the Shamrock 30. 4:08 left to go first half. Avon up 16-0. Here's the handoff to give us to Darian Love. Love will try to spin, and Darian will pick up a couple of yards down inside the 30, close to the 28-yard line.
Avon's still running the football here pretty well, but Westfield's defense has stepped it up a little bit. They're playing to run a little bit better instead of ending up with a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. Now Avon's faced with a 2nd and 8. So Westfield's defensive front is starting to play the run a little bit better.
They'll spot the ball just inside the 28-yard line, 2nd down and 8. Brandon back to pass. Has plenty of time, now rolls to the near side. Has pressure, keeps the football, and now will throw it out of bounds. He had Andrew Griffin on the far side, but again, a wise play by Brandon Peters. He was going to go out of bounds for a loss of about 3 or 4 and got rid of the football. And it will be 3rd down and a long 7.
Yeah, not only wise, but very athletic. They actually did have contained. Brandon was just a better athlete than their defensive end and ran around and bought a little bit more time. And even though he couldn't find a receiver downfield, he was able to make the wise decision you just mentioned and throw the football away.
So, and again, 3rd down and 7. Orioles had this just a little bit ago and were bailed out by a Westfield penalty. Let's see what happens here with 3:25 left to go in the half. Peters back to pass. Pressure comes. Brandon gets it away, and the pass incomplete. Andrew Griffin almost made a fantastic play. Coming in to try to intercept it was Cameron Harrison, but he didn't get his hands on the ball, and Griffin almost came away with it on a ball that wobbled on Peters as he was being pressured. Brandon got it away, but it falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Brandon got lit up that time. They ran one of their very seldom blitzes, and somebody up front missed him, but Brandon took the hit. Not a great throw, but he still powered it down there 30 yards where we had an attempt to make the catch.
On this 4th down in the wind, they'll go for it, up by 16. They'll give the ball, pass it to Derek Tennant, incomplete. They had it set up well on the screen, but Derek didn't watch it into his hands. It'll fall incomplete. And the Shamrocks are going to take over on downs, trailing by 16 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go first half.
Yeah, they did. They looked like they had it very well set up. We've been throwing the football downfield a bunch, with 4th and long. I'm sure that's what Westfield was suspecting. And Avon came back with a screen that looked like it was going to be set up for a potential first down. We just dropped the ball.
So the Shamrocks back out onto the field. As keeping it is Pepio, and he's not going to find any room. They tried that again, but this time I believe Joe Belden was there to meet Ryan Pepio right at the hole and drive the Shamrock quarterback for a loss or no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Pepio will swing it out to the right side. Pass is complete on the far side as Nick Handlin will drive the receiver out of bounds. I believe that was Milo Beam on the far sideline. And it'll be a pickup of about, they'll give him about 8 yards on the play, but it'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Shamrocks. Pepio once again fires. Pass is complete. Nice job of concentration by Milo Beam. And finally, the Shamrocks move the chains as they'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 43.
Yeah, for their own self-confidence, they need to get on the board. I think you mentioned earlier about how much offense they've had all year, and here they are in the process of being shut out in the first half.
Pepio keeps it. He finds a hole, and he will take it across the midfield stripe. And then finally, the Orioles bring him down. Thomas Williams brings him down. Nick Handlin, I believe, also there on the initial hit. But it's a first down for the it's a gain of about 9 to the Oriole 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, pretty quickly they're going to have to take a shot downfield. They're running out of time.
Pepio will take the shot downfield, and it's complete. Beam with the catch. Bringing him down was Nick Handlin, but Milo Beam has the nice reception all the way inside the Oriole 20 down to about the 17-yard line. Clock moves, 1:50 left to go in this first half. Avon up 16-0, but the Shamrocks are threatening.
Yeah, one big play for Westfield. They needed that for a shot in the arm.
High snap. They'll swing it out. Ben Loftalian, he has the football, but he has really nowhere to go. Gabe Laxton's with the initial hit. Braden Luce also in there on the tackle. Also coming in was Trevor Bernhardt. And it's a gain of only a yard, and since they couldn't get him out of bounds, the Shamrocks are forced to call a timeout with 1:26. Will call a timeout as well. 16-0 Avon. This is Oriole football on ASO.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
After the timeout, the Shamrocks have the ball. 2nd down and 9. The ball is at the Orioles' 17-yard line. 16-0, Avon with the lead. As Pepio play action pass, fires it, pass is complete. That's Ben Lotvalian once again. Drew Shayatovich ran him out of bounds. It'll stop the clock as it is a pickup of enough for a 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Shamrocks. The ball spotted at the Avon 6-yard line, and they will wind the clock once again. So they'll say that Lotvalian did not get out of bounds as we approach 1 minute left to go in this first half of play. It's the first scoring chance really by the Shamrocks. Here's the give as coming around the near side once again is Brandon Karsnick. He will not get out of bounds. And Drew Shayatovich was there to bring him down. Really no gain on the play. The ball remains at the 6-yard line. Clock moves. 45 seconds remain in the first half.
Yeah, nice little drive here at the end of the half by Westfield. Really won't mean much unless they get in the end zone here. And, they really need this score to go in at half and, come out the second half so they can play with a little confidence.
2nd and goal from the 6. Back to pass as Pepio drops, fires over the middle. Pass incomplete. Looking for, I believe, Ben Lotvalian once again. And he couldn't bring it in, and it will bring up 3rd and goal from the 6 with 25 seconds remaining in the first half.
Plenty of time to throw, a little play action pass, and I don't know if they were playing it a little bit conservatively, but he had time to make the throw, and the defensive backs of Avon just played that very well.
It is Beam and Lotvalian over on the far side, and I believe Max McCool is also there as they run trips right. Back to pass is Pepio. He looks, he fires, pass is complete, and it'll be short of the end zone at the 2.
Maybe a 1st down now. But they're running out of time.
4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Clock moves 8-7, and it looks like Coach Gilbert is going to wait for 2 seconds, and he will call the timeout with 1 second remaining on the clock on this 4th and goal from the 5. And I would expect to see Nick Dowd come on to attempt the field goal and at least give the Shamrocks a few points to head into the locker room with. So they wait till the final second shows on the clock as the Shamrocks have had their best drive of the game. They get it down to 1st and goal at the Orioles 6, but Avon keeps them out of the end zone. And now on 4th and goal, it looks like the Shamrocks are going to elect to try the field goal. But we will see what Coach Gilbert elects to do. He's got the wind at his back. He's been able to get a couple of nice little passes down here, but they just haven't been able to get many yards out of them as the Avon defense has stiffened up.
Yeah, Avon's defense has had a great half. Even if Westfield ends up with a field goal here, they can't be displeased with the way they played this half. Westfield, I don't know what you mentioned earlier, but I know it was a lot of points that they're averaging and a lot of yards, and right now Avon's defense is really taking it to them.
Well, it is the offense that heads out onto the field for this 4th and goal. So Coach Gilbert, sensing that he needs a touchdown here, on 4th and goal, the final play of the half, he's going to go for the touchdown. Here is the pass. Over the middle, pass is incomplete. Coming in to make the hit, I believe, was Nick Handlin. They were looking for Milo Beam. Or actually, that was not Milo Beam. I believe that was Brandon Karsnick. He had his hands on it, but Handlin made the hit, knocked it out of his hands, and the Shamrocks are turned away as we head to the locker rooms. It is Avon leading Westfield by the score of 16-0. We will be back as we will have some thoughts about this game and what's going on in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference after this. This is Oriole football on Audio Sports Online.
Stop in any Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's and try one of their two $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger. McDonald's is a proud supporter of Avon and Brownsburg athletics and is proud to host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show, taped Wednesday nights on location and aired Friday nights before football on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. McDonald's has two locations in Brownsburg and Avon. In Brownsburg, they are located at the corner of Main and Odell next to Marsh and just off Green Street next to I-74. In Avon, you can find them at the corner of 267 and 36 next to Kroger or on Rockville Road next to Meyer. Stop in either Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's for their $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger today. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
Halftime at Westfield High School, and the Avon Orioles ranked 9th in Class 6A this week. They lead the 7th ranked in Class 5A Westfield Shamrocks by the score of 16-0. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. All Avon in the first half, especially that first quarter, as the Avon Orioles took advantage of a couple of Shamrock turnovers. They turned them into points, and they head to the locker room leading Westfield, as I mentioned, 16-0. Orioles kicked this ball off to begin the contest, and after getting an interception by Braden Luce of Shamrock quarterback Ryan Pepio, it only took one play as Derek Tennant ran it in from 46 yards out, and that was all the Orioles needed to get this game started. They led 6-0 after the point after was no good. That followed up with a couple of 3-and-outs, and then the Orioles got a fumble recovery. That led to a 3-yard Derek Tennant touchdown run. This time, Alex Steffen's point after was good, and Avon led 13-0. The Orioles would follow that up as head coach Mark Bless took a timeout in the waning moments of the first quarter while the Orioles still had the wind at their backs. That allowed Alex Steffen to kick a 41-yard field goal, and that is where we stand right now as Avon leads 16-0. The Shamrocks, it has been a tough road to haul for their offense. They had their best drive right here at the end of the first half, but it ended after the Orioles defense stepped up as it held the Shamrocks out of the end zone. The Shamrocks with 4 plays starting at the Orioles 6-yard line, and on 4th and goal from the 3 with 1 second on the clock, Coach Gilbert elects to try for the touchdown, thinking he's really going to need those points against the Orioles tonight. He tried for the touchdown. Nice play. as they had a man open in the end zone, but Nick Hanlon came in to deliver the hit. The ball falls to the turf, and the Orioles head to the locker room at the half, leading 16-0. And, Coach, we kind of talked about it. You never can tell about the wind or the rain, but you've got to still be impressed with how the Orioles have come out and played here in this first half.
Well, I mean, Avon played, pretty close to a perfect half. I mean, this is an outstanding football team. This isn't just anybody we're out here playing against. I mean, Westfield's 4-2. They played for a state championship last week. Again, if I remember correctly, I think you mentioned earlier they're averaging over 30 points a game, and here they are shut out at halftime. And, yes, that first quarter was big. I think as much as anything is it just kind of, took the wind out of their sails a little bit. I'm sure Westfield came into this game very confident. They've played against some very fine teams this year and more than held their own. I'm sure they came in here tonight thinking the same thing was going to happen, and you just kind of blink, and the next thing you know, they're down 16-0 already on a night when the wind and the field conditions and with a little bit of rain out there really aren't conducive to a lot of offense. So, for Avon to be up here by 2 touchdowns early, is big. The second quarter, when the wind shifted and Westfield seemed to have the advantage with the wind. I mean, it was pretty much an even quarter. They were kind of back and forth a little bit, but, it's a little different right now because Westfield's trying to play catch-up, and not that Avon is, taking things away from their offense, but, they're very content to be up 2 scores, and right now I'm sure they want to play good, solid field position, try to mix things up, but, the biggest thing they don't want to do right now is come up with a turnover of some kind, to get Westfield back in the game, not only just on the scoreboard, but, with a little enthusiasm. So the drive at the end of the half, I think, got Westfield a little bit excited. Had they completed that pass at the end of the half, I'm sure they would have gone in with a lot more confidence, and you're correct. I mean, it was a good play call by Coach Gilbert. They ran a little play-action pass and had the receiver open, and, they just couldn't quite complete it. So, right now I think Coach Bless is in there trying to tell his guys, you played a great first half, but we got one more half to go. And Coach Gilbert's in there trying to convince his guys just play the kind of football that they played, the first 6 games. And if they do that, they can come back out here. But being 2 touchdowns and, and 2 2-pointers, 16 points down on a night like this to a team that's playing, as well as Avon played last week at Fishers and the week before at Whiteland, and certainly the first half out here tonight, it's going to be tough to overcome.
Of course, the Shamrocks, they're obviously missing their premier running back, Alvin Caldwell. We have not seen him all night long. When I got the 2 deeps, he was listed as the number 1 running back, but he has not been seen at all tonight. It has been Brandon Karsnick who has had all the reps at tailback. So that's a big part of the Shamrocks arsenal that's missing, especially on a night like this when you're having to throw into a very stiff wind. We saw the Orioles, they were able to at least control, if they couldn't put points on the board, they were able to control the clock in that second half, especially with the run game. They were bailed out on a couple of penalties, but it was the running game that, while we saw Westfield with that high-paced, high-scoring offense under normal conditions, they're not used to taking time off the clock. The Orioles were able to do that in that second quarter while they had the wind at their face, and they were able to do that thanks to Derek Tennant and Darian Love. Without Alvin Caldwell, it's obvious that the Shamrocks offense is not quite what it normally is, especially on a night where they could really use their star running back. But we still have a half of football left to play, so we'll see how this game winds up. Again, this has all sorts of Hoosier Crossroads Conference title implications riding on the line. The winner still controls their own destiny as far as either a co-share or maybe even an outright championship, depending on how things go. But the winner does control their own destiny in the HCC. The loser, they're going to need an awful lot of help. Right now we're looking around the HCC. We see Brownsburg is only leading Zionsville, a Zionsville team that has not been that good, and they're only leading them 3-0 at the half. If you're looking at any other scores, probably the biggest one that is taking place tonight is happening in Carmel, and the Greyhounds lead the Ben Davis Giants 17-0. So the Greyhounds, they are looking like a very strong number one team. Fishers, they have the non-conference game tonight, and they're playing a very good Tech team, but they're playing them at home during their homecoming, and I'm sure that Fishers team left Avon last week all sorts of upset, and it looks like they're playing a very good game against Tech. They're leading Tech by the score of 14-0. As we take a look, and I take a look at some of the other scores as Coach Shelbourne is happily giving me his scoreboard. If you are a Hendricks County sports follower, probably the other big game in Hendricks County is taking place tonight at Tri-West, and it's a battle for the lead in the Sagamore Conference. Western Boone is leading Tri-West 6-0. Tri-West is actually ranked 8th with one loss in Class 3A. Western Boone is ranked 9th, and they're undefeated. But right now it is the Stars with the lead in that contest, if you are a fan of, again, Hendricks County sports. The other big games that are going on tonight as we take a look at what happened in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference tonight. Hamilton Southeastern is at Noblesville. That's the other HCC game that has huge implications for the HCC championship. If Noblesville loses, then they fall back to 2 losses in the conference, and that, again, puts them asking for a lot of help. Of course, the Orioles, they still have a game to play against the Millers. It's the final game of the season, and that game is at Noblesville. We mentioned Fishers is hosting Tech tonight. Games of next week, Southeastern will have the non-conference game, and they're going to have to play Cathedral. Cathedral hasn't had the greatest of season. Head coach Rick Strife, though, he doesn't play anybody in 5A. He basically has been playing everybody in 6A this year. So if you take a look at his record, they come in to play this week. I believe they are 2-4, and they have a lot of people will sit there and say they're even getting first place votes in 5A. They don't play anybody in 5A. They basically play everybody in 6A. And by the time the tournament comes around, Coach Strife, he has that team ready. They were 4-5 last year at the end of the season, and all they did was win the state title. Cathedral will play at Hamilton Southeastern next week. Noblesville is at Brownsburg. Westfield, they'll have to travel to Fishers. And Zionsville, again, is at Avon. That is Avon Senior Night, final home game of the regular season. Right now it is halftime at Westfield High School. The score is 16-0 in favor of Avon as the rain once again falling here at Westfield. It's gotten colder after some weeks of some nice weather, some nice temperatures for Avon. The hottest game of the year. They played it indoors at Lucas Oil Stadium against Lawrence Central. So they really haven't had to play in really any bad weather. The one night the severe storms hit that caused several of the games in the central Indiana area to be postponed until the following day. Avon got out of that game with the game over with, so they didn't have to worry about it. So this is really the Orioles' first taste of some bad inclement weather tonight. It is cold, it is rainy, and that could play a big factor here in the second half. The rain has been coming down, but I wouldn't say it's been a deluge. It's just been an annoying bit of a rain. Nothing super heavy. Matter of fact, right now it might be the heaviest we've seen it. Most of the time it's been of the light variety. It's coming down a little heavier now, and we were expecting maybe some moderate showers. Fortunately, we don't expect any lightning tonight, which would cause us to put this game into a delay. Hopefully we also won't see any snow flurries before this game's over with, even though it kind of feels like it at times. But it's a good start for the Orioles, and they would love to get out of here and head back to Avon next week for senior night with a victory. We're going to take a timeout and come back. We hope to have second quarter action underway right after these messages. This is Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.
Stop in any Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's and try one of their two $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger. McDonald's is a proud supporter of Avon and Brownsburg athletics and is proud to host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show, taped Wednesday nights on location and aired Friday nights before football on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. McDonald's has two locations in Brownsburg and Avon. In Brownsburg, they are located at the corner of Main and Odell next to Marsh and just off Green Street next to I-74. In Avon, you can find them at the corner of 267 and 36 next to Kroger or on Rockville Road next to Meyer. Stop in either Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's for their $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger today. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com.
Welcome back to Westfield High School as we prepare for second half action. The Orioles lead the Shamrocks by the score of 16-0 alongside the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne. I'm Brian Scott. For Avon, Coach, I'm sure, as you mentioned, Coach Bless is going to tell them a couple of things. One, this Shamrock team, they may have been shut out in the first half, but they definitely have the capability of putting points on the board in a hurry. So keep up the defensive intensity, and for the offense, just keep a hold of the ball, no turnovers, and just go out there and play good, consistent football.
Well, the thing that Avon has done very well tonight is they haven't really given up any big plays. I mean, I don't know stat-wise, maybe a couple of first downs for Westfield, but, they haven't had that long run. I really thought that, the tone was really set tonight when Derek Tennant made that first long run for a touchdown. It was really stopped at the line of scrimmage. He kind of kicked out of it, fought through a couple of tackles. He wasn't to be denied, and I think his run kind of provided a spark for the Avon offense. And, right now they're playing well. I did check my stats because I was kind of babbling around trying to figure it out the first half, but it appears that Westfield's been averaging 31 points a game for the season, and here they are shut out. They had a chance to score right at the end of the half, but Avon's defense really without a whole lot of blitzing and, without doing a whole lot of different things. They are in the 4-man front, and, they have shut down the run, and, with a little bit of the weather and everything else that's going on tonight, the passing game really hasn't been all that effective. So Avon has done exactly what they wanted to do defensively. They've been good enough offensively. I think the offensive line has played one of their better games. They're really coming off the ball. Derek Tennant, I think, is running very well. Darian Love, when he's been in there, has done a nice job. And, the Avon offense has depended a lot of the year on the arm of Brandon Peters. And Brandon's been effective when he's had to throw, but that really hasn't been a big part of their offense. And it hasn't been a necessary part of the offense for him here tonight. But I thought overall Avon played a very complete half. I don't believe they had a turnover. They really didn't make any big errors defensively. I almost hate to mention this, and put the kiss of death on them, but we haven't really had very many penalties here tonight. They haven't stopped themselves. They've just been really consistent, and as a head coach, when you get to the 7th game of the year, you just want to have your team playing on all cylinders and running to the football and coming off the ball and running hard and making plays and not turning the ball over. And that's what Avon has done, and forcing the 2 turnovers early, with Westfield early is really what set the tone for the game.
This is normally we would sit here and say that, of course, Avon won the toss. They elected to defer. And most people would say, well, that means Avon gets the ball in the second half. But that's not really the case. Coach Bless could come out here and say, let Shamrocks have the ball and we'll take the wind in the fourth quarter.
Right. Well, this was one of those decisions you never know. I mean, there was always a little part of me that wanted to take the win early and get so far ahead that even if they had the win in the first quarter, they couldn't catch up. And, if you put 2 scores up in the third quarter, you look like a genius. But if you didn't, it was like, well, why did he bother to do it in the fourth quarter? But, I'm sure he'll make the right decision for his team. They're playing well. They want to come out here to the third quarter and continue everything they did, in the first half. But, there's no doubt Coach Gilbert and the staff are in there making corrections. They have a little bit of a feel now for how Avon, is going to defend them. I don't know if they ran into a whole lot of different stuff. They're in a 4-man front tonight where they're normally in a 3-man front. They haven't blitzed hardly at all tonight because they haven't had to, but I'm sure Coach Gilbert and his staff are in there kind of tweaking their offense and checking the playbook and their game sheet a little bit to see if they can come up with some things to kind of kickstart the offense here in the second half. They really didn't have any big plays, other than the one time at the end of the half. They really haven't tried to push the ball down the field, and I think if they're going to get back in the game here tonight, they're going to have to try to do a little bit of that here in the second half.
Well, the wind has pretty much stayed constant, but the rain has picked up. It is coming down at a pretty good clip right now, as we see it once again pretty much blowing from right to left as you're looking at your monitor. The wind has been blowing all night long, and it really hasn't let up. It started this game at about 20, 25 miles per hour, gusting to 30 miles per hour. It hasn't let up at all, but the rain has gotten heavier. It started about midway through halftime, picking up in intensity, and right now it's raining as hard as it has all night long. The field, even though this is one of the few natural grass fields that Avon will play on all season, it's in actually very, very good shape. So we'll see how that holds up as this night progresses. Avon will take the ball to begin the third quarter, and they will be doing so into the wind. So we'll see how the Orioles come out here in the third quarter, leading the Shamrocks 16-0, as getting ready to kick this one away as Nick Dowd, who this is his first kickoff attempt of the night, back deep for the Orioles will be Ian Pendleton and Brian Fitzgerald. So Dowd, who has the capability of booting this one through the end zone, puts a foot into it, and he's going to do just that. And the Orioles will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, up by 16 as we begin the third quarter of play. Avon, pretty much mistake-free football in that first half. No turnovers, few penalties, and that's something that Coach Bless has really been pulling his hair out pretty much all season, was the number of penalties the Orioles had been called for during this season. But so far in this first half, very few penalties committed by the Orioles. Avon will come out in an I backfield, Batustik and Derek Tennant. They give us to Derek. Derek eludes one tackle, but then he is stacked up, and it looked like Gavin Cross might have come in, or Ryan Rubix came in to make the tackle, but Derek will pick up only about a yard on the play up to the 21-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, lots of factors to consider here, and I know they have, but you don't want to be too conservative here. You certainly don't want to turn the ball over or do something to give Westfield the field position, but you can't come out here too early and just squat on the football. You still have to run your offense and do the things that got you the lead.
Once again, Derek Tennant, he will pick up about 4 yards on the play up to the 25-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 5 as Avon starts the second half in an I-back single tight end set with wide receivers to each side, and we'll see what they elect to do here on 3rd and 5. Peters gets the play from the sideline, and it looks like they will stay in the same formation. Actually, Cole Rightly now in. and Rightly will go out to the far side. It'll be Moore, Griffin, and Rightly to the far side, loose to the near side. Brandon will set up in the shotgun on this 3rd down and 5. Brandon fires, pass complete. Andrew Griffin, and Andrew picks up 6 yards and an Oriole first down.
Yeah, very, very good call. Just kind of conservative call. Sent all 3 wide receivers that were out to the left side of the formation. They went down about 2 yards past the sticks. He found that Griffin was open in the middle and just hit him with a little stop pass, just enough to get a first down and keep moving the chains and keep the drive alive.
This time, Moore, Griffin, and Rightly will come to the near side, and Braden Luce will go to the far side on this 1st and 10 as Brandon will work out of the gun. Brandon gives. Here's Derek Tennant around the left side, and he will have a run up to near the 40-yard line, maybe a pickup of about 9. We'll see where they finally spot the football as he was run out of bounds on that far side of the field. And they'll actually mark him out at about the 39-yard line. They'll bring up 2nd down and about 2.
Yeah, when you're calling plays, you're looking for 5 yards on first down. To pick up 8 yards like that makes the play calling on 2nd down a lot easier. And I'm really impressed with what the Avon offensive line has done so far tonight.
2nd and 2 as the give is to Derek. Derek looks for some room and shooting across and making a fine tackle as we see as they unstack. I believe coming in to make the play was Jacob Robinson. And Robinson's going to drop Tennant for a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3. Ball will be spotted at the Oriole 38-yard line. They need to pick up the first down. They need to get to the 41-yard line. Opening drive of the second half as the Orioles face a 3rd and 3. And it's Brandon Peters who will just dive forward, and he catches Westfield maybe a little bit surprised because he just dove forward for about 4, almost 5 yards up to the 43-yard line, and the Orioles will move the chains.
Yeah, quick counted him too. Again, that's something you usually kind of see in film study, and you watch things and you see how they line up in key situations because that was a little bit different cadence than what he's used the rest of the game.
So a first down for Avon as they have moved the ball up to the 43-yard line as Rightly, Griffin, and Moore to the near side, Loose to the far side. Tennant remains the back. Brandon will give it off. Here's Derek right up the middle, up to the midfield stripe, spins, and he will take it into Shamrock territory before a host of emerald-clad defenders bring him down at around the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of about 8, almost 9 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Call it a long yard.
Avon very methodical here, started back on the 20. They're in no hurry, very patient, taking their time. Just right now, kind of clicking like they did the first half.
Here's a give to Derek Tennant, but this time not going to go anywhere. Is good penetration by the interior of that Westfield defense will drop Derek for a loss back near the midfield stripe. The nose of the football will be on the midfield stripe. It's a loss of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down in about 3.
Yeah, it had to be a missed assignment. Guy came clean. We talked about how he's been able to hit the line of scrimmage cleanly. That time, Derek was actually hit in the backfield almost on the handoff.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Orioles as Peters is back to pass. Fires over the middle. Pass is complete. Coming in the near side, Andrew Griffin. He has the first down, and he will be tackled out of bounds over here on the near side. Making the tackle was Matt Krupe, a 6 foot, 187-pound senior linebacker for the Shamrocks, but it'll be enough for an Oriole first down. Spot the ball at the Shamrock 43-yard line.
Well-designed route. Ran a couple of receivers downfield, little drag route. The ball must be wet. It looked like Brandon actually pushed the ball to Andrew Griffin that time, but he had enough on it to get him the ball and get the first down.
10th play of the drive as the Orioles eating clock up here in the 3rd quarter. Brandon to Tennant. Tennant with a handoff, goes to the left side, and will take it down to around the 35-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 8 yards on the play on another hard run by Derek Tennant as the Orioles, as Coach mentioned, just methodically moving down the field into a stiff wind a bit of a rain and just taking time off the clock. We are already down to close to 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, they're having a lot of success there. A little trap play off that inside zone action. The guard, whoever the right guard is, I'll have to check, has done a great job on his trap blocking tonight to open that play up.
On this second and 3, Peters fires over to the far side. Pass is complete. Braden Luce over there on the far sideline. Andrew Griffin with the catch. And Andrew with his, I believe, third or fourth reception on this drive will take it down to the Shamrock 19.
And wide open. I mean, I don't know if they're afraid of him running by him or not, but, he got plenty open on that play. The defensive back backpedaled out of there and gave him a little underneath out route.
Here's a give. I believe this is Tennant, and Tennant will be stacked up after a gain of a couple of yards. They'll take it down to the Shamrock, call it about the 17-yard line. It's a pickup about 1.5 yards. I'll call it second down and 8. Clock moves. 6:21 remains in this third quarter. We're almost halfway through this third quarter. This is the opening drive of the quarter. The Orioles started back at their own 20-yard line, and they're down to the Shamrock 17-yard line, and this is the 13th play of the drive. Second and 8. Brandon back to pass. Lays it up, looking in the corner, and it's going to be knocked away. Put a little bit of air on there, and that's one of the things on a night like this where you throw that ball into the wind. Wind's going to hang it up there, and coming in to knock it away was Cameron Harris in the corner.
And I like the play call. I mean, they haven't gone deep. They're into the wind. They've been running the football. My basic philosophy when I was coaching is you had to go deep 4 or 5 times a game just to back those corners up so they couldn't come up and play the run. And, you don't force it in. That's still a good call.
Here is a give to Tennant. Tennant looks for some room, slips, and he is met and dropped. As coming in to make the tackle was Mike Patterson, the defensive tackle. But you could see right there, Derek wanted to make a cut, and he's at a part of the field that hasn't seen a lot of action tonight. His feet just came out from under him, and Patterson came in to drop him for a loss, and it's going to bring up fourth down. And again, into this tough win, no hesitation by Coach Bless. They'll go for it here on fourth down and about 13 yards to go. They need to get down to just inside about the 9-yard line for a first down. Brandon back to pass, drops back, has plenty of time, great protection, but now the protection breaks down, and they come in and finish Peters off. He took a hard hit, and Brandon is still down. As Brandon was trying to get rid of the football, I think coming in and making the tackle
for what
was Sam Mattingly. Mattingly put a shoulder right into Brandon's midsection, and Brandon is still down as he is a little slow to get up.
Yeah, looked like he got bent over a little bit. Hopefully he's healthy. We need him. He's a good kid. You want him to come back here, injury-free. But, made a wise decision. Good defensive play by Westfield. It wasn't there. He didn't force it up. He didn't do anything foolish. Avon's still up here 16-0. Westfield hasn't run a play yet. They're 7 minutes off the clock, and they've only got 5 minutes left with the, with the wind here, and they're 2 touchdowns down. So they did a great job taking time off the clock. Obviously, the concern right now is the health of Brandon Peters.
We're going to take a timeout as they attend to Brandon on the field. 5:14 left to go, third quarter. Avon 16, Westfield nothing. This is Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.
Stop in any Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's and try one of their two $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger. McDonald's is a proud supporter of Avon and Brownsburg athletics and is proud to host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show, taped Wednesday nights on location and aired Friday nights before football on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. McDonald's has 2 locations in Brownsburg and Avon. In Brownsburg, they are located at the corner of Main and Odell next to Marsh and just off Green Street next to I-74. In Avon, you can find them at the corner of 267 and 36 next to Kroger or on Rockville Road next to Meyer. Stop in either Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's for their $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger today.
Brian Peters had to be helped off the field is on this play. It will be pretty much no gain, maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Peters didn't appear to be limping. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. But he had to be helped to the sideline, and now Ryan Pepio and the Shamrock offense, who has spent quite a lot of time off of the field, and they take the field with just a little over 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They trail 16-0, and they'll have the win for this final 4 minutes and 38 seconds of the quarter. Here's Pepio. He will keep it, and he will take it upfield, pick up maybe a yard or two at best before he is brought down, tackled on the play by Trevor Bernhardt, and it'll bring up a third down and about 7 for the Shamrocks, with the football spotted at the 34-yard line as they bring in a dry ball from the sideline. Wind and the rain continues here. Again, not a drenching heavy rain, but enough to maybe cause some slickness on the football, and the Orioles are called in the neutral zone. It will not give the Shamrocks a first down, but the 5 yards will make this play call a little bit easier for Coach Gilbert to make.
And that's the type of thing we didn't see from Avon in the first half. So they've just got to keep their composure and keep playing the way they played the first half.
Brandon Karsnick is the tailback as they work out of the pistol. And on the read option, Pepio keeps it, and he finds a hole. Off to the races, to the 40. And Ryan Pepio, one man to beat, and bringing a touchdown-saving tackle was Gabe Laxton. He was the only man that was going to be able to bring down Ryan Pepio. And for the most part, the Shamrocks offense tonight is squarely on the feet of number 10, Ryan Pepio, and only a touchdown-saving tackle by Gabe Laxton prevents him from going in the end zone.
Yeah, no, that's a play they've run 3 or 4 times here, and Avon's defended it very well. And that time, for whatever reason, whoever had the quarterback, just wasn't anywhere to be seen.
So first and goal from the Oriole 3-yard line. Pepio works out of the pistol, and he will keep it, and he'll be
into the end zone.
He'll actually going to mark him just shy, as that looked like it was busted. It looked like he was trying to hand the ball up to Karsnick, and either Karsnick didn't get the ball or Pepio pulled it out at the last second. Pepio stumbled forward, but he's shy.
Looked like he missed a handoff, but very wisely followed him up into the hole.
And for the first time, we'll see the Shamrocks go in an I-back set with Pepio under center. No signal as Pepio on the keeper, and they say he got in from 1 yard out. So Ryan Pepio is pretty much the sole heart of the offense right now for the Shamrocks. And he runs it in from 1 yard out, and the Shamrocks are on the board with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in the third quarter. 16-6, and as Coach mentioned at halftime, 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions mean this game is tied, so that's exactly what Coach Gilbert looks like he's going to do. He's going to leave the offense on the field, and they'll go for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, they're back to their spread offensive personnel, though. They're going to be in their 4 wide receiver look and shotgun.
Trips wide right as Pepio waits for the snap. Drops back, looks, fires right side pass, incomplete. He had a man wide open. That looked like it was Milo Beam. Had him right in the hands, and he couldn't bring it in, and the 2-point conversion is no good. But the Shamrocks are on the board with 3 minutes and 1 second left. Back at the kickoff in a moment. This is Oriole football on ASO.
Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
Ryan Pepio scores from 1 yard out. The 2-point conversion is no good, so the Orioles have a 10-point lead with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. Third quarter winding down as this kick is going to sail into the end zone by Nick Dowd. And the Orioles are going to take over 1st and 10. The question will be who will be the signal caller for Avon to start this drive. Brandon Peters was shaken up to end the last drive on a big hit. And we'll see if it's Aaron Youngs or we didn't see who came out onto the field. And it is Brandon Peters. So the big kid is back out. He took a hit earlier this year in the Ben Davis game, as he will give it to Derek Tennant, and Tennant will take it up the field for a pickup of about a yard. Many of you remember that big hit that Asmar Bilal laid on Brandon in the Ben Davis game that was pretty much similar to this last one. Brandon went to the sideline, stayed out while the other team was on offense, and then came right back out to start this drive, and he does so here, as that's a pickup of a yard.
Brandon's not the most talkative kid, when you get to know him, but he is tough, and I think he's showing his toughness. This will mean a lot to his teammates, to come out here and lead him in a game like this.
Ball is loose. Brandon couldn't pick it up. Westfield says they have it, and the first turnover by the Orioles is going to give the Shamrocks excellent field position, as Brandon Peters didn't get the center exchange from Brady Nyland, or with this wet conditions simply lost control of the football, and the turnover will give the Shamrocks excellent field position deep in Oriole territory at around the 16-yard line.
It does. But, this is where the Avon defense is just going to have to step it up. You can't walk out there feeling sorry for yourself or pointing a finger and why did we turn the ball over and all those things. Right now they need to be out there with the attitude that it's our job to keep them out of the end zone. They're going to have to come up with a big defensive series here, and this will probably be their last series with the win.
Actually, the ball was at the 20-yard line. Here's the give to Karsnick, and he is going to pick up a couple of yards before he is brought down.
Looked like Gunnar Larson
in there to make the initial hit, so he'll limit Karsnick to a pickup of only about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as the rain comes down a little heavier. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line of Avon. They're up by 10 with now under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Shamrocks just scored their first points on a touchdown, but a fumble on the center quarterback exchange has given the ball back to Westfield. Pepio back to pass, looks, fires, and the ball is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Joe Belden got a big old paw up there to knock it down. It was a low throw, almost sidearm, and I think Joe just kind of stuck a paw out there and knocked it down. But it brings up 3rd down, so big 3rd down play here for the Oriole defense. Ball at the 19-yard line. Pepio will look over to the sideline. Clock stopped, 1:44 left to go in the third quarter. Play clock down to 13, plenty of time for the Shamrocks. Out of the pistol, Pepio will give the ball. Karsnick will look for some room, and he's not going to find anything. Rashawn Brent and a host of Oriole defenders came up and met, and actually Elvin Caldwell is finally in the game. So
Nick Hanlon coming up out of the secondary to help out there too, but the initial hit by Rashawn is what made the play.
Elvin Caldwell, that's his first appearance and his first carry of the contest, and he is going to be dropped for about a yard loss. So Nick Dowd's going to come on to attempt what is going to be a 38-yard field goal. He has the wind at his back, but the rain is coming down. So we'll see how Dowd does. He has been a very, very good kicker for the Shamrocks over the years. But this is tough conditions. Even though the wind's at his back, he's got an angle, and it's a very slick football. And the clock stops as it's a delay of game. Dowd got it away, but there's not going to count because the play clock read 0. And Coach Gilbert not happy with the officials. And now they will talk to the umpire and to the referee, and they're going to waive the delay of game off.
Oh.
So wave it off. We didn't see what it was. The rain's really coming down hard now, as Nick Dowd will try it again. High snap, but they get it down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. They started to say it's good, then pulled it down and said it's no good.
Well, the Avon defense did what they had to do. Three plays and out. They attempted to kick the field goal, even though they've got the win. I mean, it's nice that we're up here in the press box, but just looking out into the lights, that rain's coming down as hard as it has all night. And even though the wind is at your back, anytime you have wind like that, it's gonna play havoc with the kick, and that's exactly what happened.
So 46 seconds remain in this third quarter. That's how long Avon will have the wind at their face. As Brandon Peters and the offense come back out. The Orioles fumbled on their last drive as Brady Nyland and Brandon Peters has the fumble on the wet football. And now Peters will work out of the gun. Brandon back to pass, drops it off, and it was snuffed out nicely by Westfield. Derek Tennant, I believe they were setting up the screen once again. Derek's going to pick up a couple of yards, but it was well defended by Westfield. It'll be a pickup of about 2 to the 22-yard line, and the Orioles will have to run one more play in this third quarter, as there's about a 2-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. 16-6 is our score. Orioles out in front. As Peters will look over the Westfield defense and give it to Derek Tennant. Tennant's going to be hit in the backfield as now Westfield, knowing pretty much that Avon had the wind in their face and were probably not going to put the ball up in that location. They just sent everybody in to stop the run, and that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. We will head to quarter number 4. We will switch ends of the field, and the Avon Orioles will see if they can hold off the Shamrocks. They lead Westfield 16-6. Back with fourth quarter action in a moment. This is Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.
McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
We'll switch ends of the field. The Orioles will have the wind at their backs, but when they begin this fourth quarter, they will face a third down and 10 from their own 20-yard line, but they lead the Shamrocks 16-6. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. Fourth quarter ready to get underway. The wind still howling, the rain still coming down pretty good as some of the fans have started to make their way out of here. As now a very cold, biting wind and rain is chasing some of these fans away, but the Shamrocks hoping that they can get the football back, but they trail by 10 as Peters and the offense heads out onto the field. Brandon with a wind at his back. He's going to set up, and he's going to throw deep, looking for Andrew Griffin. Overthrows it. The wind caught a hold of that one, and it just sailed. Looked like back deep was Cameron Harrison for the Shamrocks. He was hoping to play center field, but then the wind even pushed it beyond him, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, even with an arm as strong as Brandon Peters, again, that wind, even when it's at your back, it's going to play tricks with the football. You know, this is not a night when you want to throw the football to have to win.
So it'll bring up a punting situation as Alex Steffen is on. Kobe Hauser back deep, and he may need to scoot back a little bit further. Right now he's at his own 38. Steffen is at his own 7, and he gets this one. It goes straight up, but the wind's going to take it, and it's going to take an Oriole bounce. Hauser will take it at the 47, be brought down immediately by Matt Moore. Not a very good punt by Alex Steffen. Fortunately for the Orioles, the wind was able to push that ball down the field, but the Shamrocks will have excellent field position to start this drive. They trail by 10, and the ball will be at the Shamrock 49-yard line.
Yeah, another excellent punt snap by Nick Hibbert. I mean, in these kind of conditions, that's the thing that you fear as much as anything, but he delivered with the snap and the kick.
Caldwell with the run as he was absent for the entire first half in most of the third quarter, but he's out there right now with the Shamrocks trailing by 10, and Caldwell will pick up yardage into Oriole territory down to the 48-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 7. Caldwell has Pepio checking out something on his equipment. Plenty of time left on the play clock as now Pepio is going to bring Caldwell to his right. Under 9 seconds left on the play clock. Pepio gives it to Caldwell, or keeps it, Caldwell faked the handoff, ran around the left side. Pepio comes to the near side before he is brought down. Tackled right there, made by Gunnar Larson, and I think Brian Fitzgerald as well. But now big third down for the Shamrocks. Ball is at the 47-yard line of Avon. It's a big play for the Avon defense right here. Pepio back, slips, now steps up, hit, and he gets drilled as coming along to make the play. Once again, Trevor Bernhardt. They were looking for Caldwell on the near side, but Bernhardt applying the pressure forces Pepio to get rid of the football, and that'll bring up fourth down as Pepio comes to the sideline.
And it's coming down really hard now. I saw some umbrellas go up, and they're getting blown away here a little bit, so the conditions seem to be getting worse.
That's going to bring up Joe Crambier on to punt. Back deep, Andrew Griffin and Braden Luce. Crambier, bit of a soccer-style low kick. It'll take a bounce and die right at the 24-yard line. And a 22-yard punt will give the Orioles a 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. They lead by 10 with 10:27 left to go in this football game.
Yeah, kind of gut check time here a little bit for Avon. They need to put together some first downs, hang on to the football, and again, you don't want to take everything out of your offense, but this is the time to just buckle it up and play tough football.
So split backs behind Brandon Peters. Now Tennant will go in motion. The give is to Darian Love. Darian's met, and he'll be dropped after a gain of maybe 2 up to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This is, really a good combination, something we haven't seen much this year with Tennant and Love in the backfield at the same time. I think the two outstanding running backs, they kind of complement each other very well. They both have that good quickness and ability to hit a home run. Any time they touch a football, and putting them both out there together, I think is a good idea.
Gabe Laxton's now in. He's a wide out to the far side. He'll be joined by Braden Luce, who will have to hurry off the field. And the ball is a low snap, and Brandon Peters is just going to have to cover up on it. As Coach Gilbert, he's checking. He says that Avon was running a player off, and I'm sure he's probably arguing that means they had 12 men in the huddle, but as the ball will be spotted back at the 19-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 15 for Avon. Clock moving, 9:20 left to go in this fourth quarter. Avon up 16-6. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott.
Probably see something pretty conservative here. If you were 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, that might be manageable. 3rd and 15. I think they'll be content to run the ball and kick it and play some good defense again.
Gabe Laxton lines up as a wide receiver to the near side of the field on this 3rd and about 15. Back is Peters. He rolls to his right. Pressure comes from behind. Ball's loose. And the Shamrocks, well, let's see who comes up with it. Peters was tackled from behind, and the Shamrocks are going to come away with it as I believe, stripping the football from behind. Believe coming in to shake it was Matt Krupe. That might have stripped the ball from Peters as Brandon was trying to roll out. And the second turnover by Avon is going to give the Shamrocks good field position at the Oriole 21-yard line.
Well, that's the thing that the Avon offense was able to avoid the whole first half with the no turnovers. And the 2 turnovers here are, giving Westfield an opportunity to get back in the game.
So Pepio this time will have Caldwell and Krasnick. He's back to pass. Pepio throws this one up. It is lofted, and it is incomplete. Almost coming away with it was Ben Loftalion, but that ball was ducking up in the air, and several Orioles were there, but Loftalion almost came down with it.
It really ended up being kind of a bizarre-looking play. The ball just kind of hung up in the air. Then it looked like he was going to make the catch, and you thought maybe it was going to be an interception. It ended up being an incomplete pass.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Shamrocks. Ball remains at about the 20-yard line. And they will give it to Caldwell. Caldwell will get a couple of yards before he is brought down. I believe Thompson once again with the tackle. Or excuse me, Thomas Williams made the tackle for the Orioles. It's a pickup of a couple down to about the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Shamrocks. Clock moves. 8:20 left to go in this 4th quarter, but the Orioles are up by 10. Caldwell is the lone back in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, as Pepio will look over to the sideline for the play. Play clock down to 4 seconds. Here come the blitz. It's picked up. They'll throw to the near side. Pass is incomplete. Looking over here on the near sideline, they were, I believe, looking for Bryce Sears, but it's incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down, and Nick Dowd is going to try to attempt a field goal with the wind and the rain in his face. Officially, it's going to be about a 33-yard field goal, but with this wind, it might as well be about a 43-yard field goal. So we'll see how Nick deals with this wind. High snap, they get it down. His kick is up, and the kick is no good. He has missed his 2nd field goal. This one off to the right. And the Orioles have dodged 2 bullets off of the leg of Nick Dowd. Dowd was the one that did the Orioles in last year back at Avon, and now he's missed 2 field goals here in this game, and the game remains a 10-point game in favor of Avon with 7:56 left to go, 4th quarter.
Well, from where we're at up here, I mean, the score-wise, that's certainly the wise thing to do. I'm surprised he actually kicked the ball that far because the conditions from up here just don't look very good.
It wasn't for a lack of leg. The young man definitely had a strong leg, as Derek Tennant is going to take the ball right up the middle. And right now it's Westfield just stacking the box, looking for the Avon running backs and limiting them to little yardage. It'll be a gain of maybe a half yard at best. It'll be 2nd, let's call it 10.
Well, you know, the clock is their, is their best friend right now. They're 2 scores ahead. Take the time off the clock. Don't turn the ball over. Play good field position. You know, make sure you do the fundamental things well, and that clock is their ally right now.
This time my backfield is Batustik's in. The give is to Tennant, and he'll look for some room, not find a whole lot. He'll still gain a couple of yards, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Orioles.
You know, every first down here really just stretches the clock. They're not looking to put any more points on the board. They're just looking to, you know, they'd like to have a drive like they did to start the half, where they took 7 minutes off the clock, because if they did that, it'd put the game away. So, you know, right now Avon wants to be smart, run the football. If they can pick up the first down here, it's a bonus, but otherwise punt the ball away, play good field position.
Rightly and loose to the far side, Andrew Griffin is the wide out near side. Peters back to pass on this 3rd down at about 7. He will fire it off. He has Andrew Griffin. Griffin with a first down, and he'll be ridden out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. And a big pickup by Andrew Griffin from Brandon Peters, and the Orioles will move the chains.
Just, you know, huge play and a ton of confidence there by Coach Bless and Coach Moore, you know, even coming up here and throwing the football. You know, that keeps the drive alive. They've got tons of confidence in their offensive line to protect, and Brandon Peters to make the right decision, and that's that little underneath drag route to Andrew Griffin that worked so well earlier in the game.
Spot the ball at the Oriole 38-yard line, 1st and 10, Avon. Here's a give. Derek Tennant finds some room on the right side to the 45, to the midfield stripe, and out of bounds inside Shamrock territory. A big run by Derek Tennant to move the ball into Westfield territory, and Avon will have it 1st and 10 at the Shamrock 46-yard line.
Yeah, and right now, you know, Avon's in no hurry. They're going to, you know, check the play clock. They're going to run it down as close as they can to, you know, to 5 seconds. They want to run that play clock down as far as they can, take as much time as they can in the huddle, and continue to pick up first downs.
So on the first down, they'll give it to Tennant once again. Kind of stutter steps, and he's going to be met and dropped after about a gain of maybe 2 yards on the play before he is brought down. I believe Gavin Cross, among others, in there on the tackle for the Shamrocks to limit Tennant to a 2-yard gain. But the clock does move. 5:45 left to go in this football game. Avon up by 16 alongside Dave Shelbourne. I'm Brian Scott. Matt Moore is going to line up as a wideout all the way here to the near side of the field. As a low snap, Peters back to pass on the play action. Looks, fires downfield, and wide open, and with the catch, Andrew Griffin inside the 30 and down to about the 27-yard line.
You think teams would start to figure out here by now that, Brandon's going to throw the ball to Andrew. I mean, he catches 4, 5, 6 a game. He always seems to be open. He almost never drops the ball. That's just a great combination. And again, just, extreme confidence. Right now, Westfield's got to get the football, and Avon is still very confident in their passing game. They're still throwing the football.
Ball is at the 28-yard line, 2 backs. As here is Tennant looking for some room. He eludes one man. Penalty flag comes flying. And they will finally run Tennant out of bounds here on the near side. Coming in to make the tackle was Jacob Eccles for the Shamrocks, but this one looks like it's going to be marched back against Avon.
Well, assuming the ball doesn't get turned over, I mean, it's really a little bit of a benefit because this allows Avon to run another play and really gives them an opportunity, to hopefully run another 30 seconds off the clock. So it certainly makes it tougher to get a first down. But in this situation right here, what they really want to do is, just continue to run the clock. If they don't get a first down, very safely line up, punt the ball down here inside the 20-yard line and force Westfield to have to go the entire length of the field twice to score.
1st and 25 for the Orioles. Big set. And they'll give to Tennant. Tennant right up the middle, and he blows over Bailey Partlow, the weak side linebacker. And finally, Partlow will bring Tennant down, but not before Derrick picks up about 7 on the play down to the 35-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and about 17.
Avon's still coming off the ball really well. I'm not positive. I think that might have been Zach Ryan, the trapping guard that time. I mean, he came across and just cleaned up inside, did a great job on the trap block. And, Avon's running the football pretty well here right now.
2nd down and 17 for Avon. Clock moving, 4:24 left to go in the football game. Avon up 10. Peters, as Westfield shows blitz, they'll give it to Tennant. Tennant, stutter steps, cuts left, penalty flag once again comes flying in. As it looks like another holding penalty will go against the Orioles.
And that we can't afford, but again, I guess we get that 30 seconds that I was just talking about. We'll run another 30 off. They'll give us an extra play here, which isn't really terrible. I mean, you never want the penalties, but right now the clock is the biggest thing. We're going to be down under 4 minutes here after the next snap, and again, because of the missed 2-point conversion on the touchdown and the 2 missed field goals, they're two possessions behind, and that really is to Avon's advantage.
The rain has diminished substantially, the wind still blowing, and it'll be 2nd down and about 25 yards to go for the Orioles. Clock stopped at 3:55 in the 4th quarter. Brandon will give it to Derrick. Derrick loses it, and that wet football and wet turf almost became a big problem for the Orioles. Derrick was able to fall on it. He'll lose a yard back to about the 46-yard line, and now it's going to bring up 3rd down. The Orioles need to get inside to about the 18-yard line to pick up a first down. Right now, they are probably likely to just run this football and then punt the ball and try to pin the Shamrocks deep. Rightly and loose to the far side. Loose will work the slot. Griffin is to the near side. Peters will look to Tennant to his left as the play clock winds down. As Brandon milking the clock for all it's worth. 3 minutes, 4 seconds remain. Brandon on the delay gives it to Derek Tennant. Tennant breaks a hole and then slips down as the rain hasn't been hard all night, but its cumulative effects are now being seen on the field as Derek slipped and he fell at about the 37-yard line. And that's going to cause Jake Gilbert to call a timeout with 2:47 left and fourth down. We'll take a timeout as well. 2:47 left to go. Avon leads Westfield 16-6. This is Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com.
After the missed field goal by Westfield, Avon took this ball over on their own 20-yard line. And if nothing else, they have bled over 5 minutes of clock off. 2 minutes, 47 seconds remain in this football game, and the Orioles still up by 10. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. Fourth down, Alex Steffen on to punt.
They did their job. Westfield's going to have to come after it here. They've got 10 up. I mean, they're open for a bad snap, a block kick, the punter to fall down, anything like that.
Steffen bobbled it, but gets a high kick. Fair catch is called for, and the ball dies. Well, Coach, I don't think your 9-iron is going to do any better than that one did right there. Steffen got a high kick, had a little bit of a backspin, and just hit the 5-yard line and died right there.
Well, they executed. That's a situation, you need the snap, you need the protection, you got to catch the ball, and you got to punt it. The fact that it's on the 5-yard line is a bonus. What you don't want to do, again, is make the big error. They very coolly and calmly did what they practiced, all week and practiced the entire year, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Ball is spotted probably right at just beyond the 5-yard line. 1st and 10 for Pepio and the Westfield Shamrocks. They trail by 2 scores. They give us the passes to Caldwell as Caldwell leaked out. Good pressure there by Avon. Looks like Rashawn Brent and a couple of others were in there to make Pepio get rid of that football a little bit early. He was trying to hit Caldwell out of the backfield, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Just sit back, be smart, keep in front of you, be sure tacklers. Try to keep them in bounds if you possibly can and let that clock run out.
So 2nd and 10 for the Shamrocks. They have 2 wideouts to the near side. High snap. Pepio brings it back. This time he does find Caldwell, and Caldwell will pick up maybe 4 yards, but he'll be tackled inbounds, so the clock will continue to move with 2:26 and counting here in the fourth.
Yeah, they're playing right in Avon's hands right now, and the poor field position certainly helps Avon. They've got to throw the ball down the field. They're down 2 scores right now.
3rd and 6 for the Shamrocks. As Pepio is back, he will fire down the field. Pass incomplete. Good defensive play, Gabe Laxton's, as he managed to knock that ball away. Looked like it might have been Max McCool over there on the far sideline, but a good job by Laxton's to put a hand in there and knock it away. It'll bring up 4th down. 4th and about 6, and no choice here. Shamrocks will go for it. Pepio will look over to the sideline. 2:07 clock stopped on this big play. This is the game for the Shamrocks. 4th down and 6. Back to pass. Going deep, looking deep. The pass is going to be caught. Oh, they said incomplete. And now penalty flag comes flying late. The side judge came over and said out of bounds. Didn't see the receiver. It might have been Ben Lofalian. Ben Lofalian was the receiver. And let's see what the penalty flag is. The offense has come off. It's a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against Westfield. Lofalian evidently very demonstrative in his thinking that he was in bounds and evidently said something to the official. And that has caused the 15-yard penalty against Westfield. So now the Orioles have the football, and the ball will be spotted right at the, when they mark it off, it's going to be near the 5-yard line with 2 minutes left to go in this football game, and Avon up by 10. I backfield Batustik and Tennant as Peters bends under. He gives it to Derek. Derek over the right side. He's going to pick up a couple of yards down to about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2. It'll bring up 2nd and goal. So Lothalion, who thought he had his feet down over on that far sideline, the side judge said no, and evidently young man very sure that he came down with his feet in bounds, had to have said something that cost him the 15 yards, and that is going to be it for Westfield as they'll take a timeout here with 1:48 and down by 10, and the Orioles knocking on the door. And Coach, a big win for Avon as we mark down these final 1:48. They're going to come home next week, and on senior night, they're going to face a Zionsville team that hasn't been all that great this year, but never want to take anybody for granted. But they're going to leave Westfield with a very hard fought and a very big win.
They are, and I think the big key is that we just continue to get better. We played well against Whiteland. We came back last week, and I thought played our best game. We got off to a good start tonight. You know, a couple little bumbles here in the second half, but overall, Avon has played an outstanding game from start to finish.
Batustik and Tennant, I backfield as the give is to Tennant. He'll look for some room around the left side. He will stretch it out, and he'll be stopped shy of the goal line.
But he is in bounds.
He does stay in bounds. That'll force the Shamrocks, I believe, to call a timeout. Matt Krupe up there to make the tackle. And it'll be 3rd and goal at about the 1-yard line as the clock is stopped with 1:36. So the Orioles will improve their record to 5-2 on the season, 3-1 in Hoosier Crossroads Conference action. And really, with the exception of the Ben Davis game, which was quite obviously that was a bit of an overmatch that night for the Orioles against a very good Giants team at the time, I think there'd be a lot of people on the Avon sideline and the Avon coaching staff that really thought that they let that game against Brownsburg get away from them on a night that they just didn't really bring their A game to Brownsburg. Otherwise, this is a team that could only have 1 loss on their record and could honestly be undefeated in HCC play. But as it is, they will leave tonight with only 1 loss in the conference, and they will put Westfield down 2 and be a game behind in the HCC play. Fishers tonight, they were playing a non-conference game against Tech, and Noblesville is the other team with only 1 loss in the conference. So we'll see how Noblesville does tonight. But Westfield looks like they're going to go down to defeat. There'll be 2 losses in HCC play, and they will need help if they want to get a title as this play goes nowhere. Penalty flags fly as Darian Love was the ball carrier, but an illegal procedure will stop this play and march the Orioles 5 yards back.
Well, here's that 30-second runoff we get again. So, I mean, you never like the penalties, but it just gives us 1 more play. Right now, you know, if we score, gee, that'd be nice, but what's really important here is to, you know, run that clock out, don't get anybody hurt, get on the bus, go home, and get ready for next week.
So 3rd and 6, and now timeout called by Coach Mark Bless. We're going to take a timeout as well with 1:34 left to go in this football game. Avon out in front. This is Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.
Stop in any Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's and try one of their 2 $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger. McDonald's is a proud supporter of Avon and Brownsburg athletics and is proud to host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show, taped Wednesday nights on location and aired Friday nights before football on 1610 AM XRB and XRBradio.com. McDonald's has 2 locations in Brownsburg and Avon. In Brownsburg, they are located at the corner of Main and Odell next to Marsh and just off Green Street next to I-74. In Avon, you can find them at the corner of 267 and 36 next to Kroger or on Rockville Road next to Meyer. Stop in either Brownsburg or Avon McDonald's for their $2 tasty specials, the jalapeno burger or the triple cheeseburger today.
Welcome back to Westfield High School. 1:36 left to go, and Avon up 16-6. Alongside Dave Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. Avon, after holding the Shamrocks, or making the Shamrocks turn it over on downs, halves of the ball. They have a 3rd and goal from about the 6-yard line, and another penalty flag as things have really kind of deteriorated here the past couple of minutes. This time they're pointing at Westfield, I think. Let's see. It's a dead ball foul. Illegal procedure against Avon. So Avon now with some multiple penalties here. Things have kind of fallen apart the past few minutes. As I think the wind and the cold, everybody's just wanting to get this game done and over with and head back to a warm bus.
This is just a backward way of running the clock out.
Well, unfortunately, the clock hasn't been able to move. They had stopped it because of the timeout, so it's just kind of sat here for a while, and now we're back to 3rd and goal, but the ball's all the way back to 11, though. Coach Mark Bless he's not done coaching yet. He's trying to find out what the officials are doing, and he's going to make the long walk back over to the sideline.
Well, this is a play they practice. What they're saying is that the tight end shifted in such a way to simulate a snap, and that's, this is one of those things that coaches argue about all the time because, you're trying to line up tight end left, in Coach Bless's opinion. I think that's what he's trying to explain, and just shift that tight end over to the right side. Obviously, if you're on the other sidelines, Coach Gilbert is arguing that no, he made a move to simulate a snap, and that's what's drawing their players offside. So that's kind of a judgment call by the officials to determine whether they believe the shift is a legal shift or not.
And they will wave the flag off. So they're going to wave that flag off. Evidently, Coach Bless and Coach, I bet you can count on one hand the number of times you won an argument that got a penalty flag waved off.
Actually, you're wrong.
Well, 2 hands.
When you're around long enough and you gain a little bit of respect, believe it or not, occasionally sometimes the refs will at least listen to your explanation. And really the good officiating crews will make that change if they feel that, they're making a correct call.
3rd and goal from the 6, I backfield. Darian Love with the football. He's going to be stacked up and brought down after a gain of maybe a yard, if even that. It'll bring up 4th and goal from the 6, but the clock will move. I believe Westfield is out of timeouts. So this clock is going to wind down, and even if I believe Avon's probably just going to hand this ball off.
Well, 3 points really doesn't. They need 2 scores. This way you take more time off the clock. If it's a missed field goal, they bring it out to the 20. Here, if they don't make it, they're inside the 5. So this is certainly the wise move for Avon to make.
Peters will work out of the gun. He will leave it out to Tennant. Tennant's going to have the football, and he will be into the end zone from about 6 yards out. And the Orioles tack on their first points of the second half, and it's now 22-6. Pretty simple play. They just let Derek Tennant leak out of the backfield. Everybody ran with the wide receivers, and they left Tennant alone. And simple little pitch and catch from Brandon Peters ends up in a touchdown.
Well, they must have seen something because he was wide open, and I think, you better make sure he's wide open in that situation, and they did, and that, touchdown will certainly put it away here with 50 seconds left in the game.
So the extra point is good by Alex Steffen, and with 50 seconds remaining, Avon now out in front 23-6. So Avon takes advantage of the very, very short field position. They take a little bit of time off of the clock. And it'll be it's a cold, windy, rainy, miserable night, but it'll be a very enjoyable bus ride back to Avon tonight. even if they do have to sit in traffic around here for about 15, 20 minutes.
Well, that's, like you said, that's a big win. They're 5-2. If they win out, they win the conference championship. This is an outstanding Westfield team that, they're going to beat on their own field, and getting out to that fast start. I mean, you never know. You don't know about field conditions. Westfield's certainly capable of putting points up on the board, and to hold them to 6 points tonight, I think says something about Coach Bombi and his defensive staff getting these guys ready to play, because they certainly played a great game tonight.
Stefan with just a short kick. It was fair caught, actually, by the up man, and it's going to be taken over at about the 37-yard line is where Westfield is going to take over. But now only 50 seconds remain. The Shamrocks are out of timeouts, and they will have the ball 1st and 10 once again from their own 37-yard line. So a big win here at Westfield against a very, very good team on a night where the conditions weren't that great. Once again, we saw Brandon Peters take a big hit but only bounce back and continue to play very well as Pepio will fire this ball over to the sideline. Pass is complete. And it will be Milo Beal with the catch, and it'll be enough for a Shamrock first down into Oriole territory, at their own 48-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Pepio back to pass, looks, fires over. That ball looked like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage maybe, or it slipped out of his hands. And as it would be the case, if you're an Avon fan, it is to be expected. Now the rain picks back up. It slacked off while the Orioles had the football, but once again it has picked up here at Westfield. 42 seconds remain in this football game as Pepio and the Shamrocks will send 3 wide, and Caldwell as well. They'll fire out to Elvin Caldwell, and that slick football, Caldwell not able to bring it in. It's slick, it's cold, it's hard to get your hands on it and bring it in, and it's incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, little stat time here. I'm sure if you really could get the coaches, honestly, they'd just as soon have this one done, get in the locker room, lick your wounds if you're Westfield, get ready for next week, and try to get out of here injury free if you're Avon, and get back home and start prepping for next week.
Here's a give to play action pass as the Pepio sends it out to Lefalian, but it's going to be strung out, and they'll keep the clock moving.
That's a veteran officiating crew right there.
Clock moving, 20 seconds remaining. It's 4th down, about 7 yards to go. Ball at the midfield stripe. As Lefalian, they go double wing this time. Pepio back, fires the pass. Pass is incomplete. He was looking for Max McCool, one of the better football names that you'll find. Pass is incomplete, and the Orioles will take over on downs with 7 seconds remaining in this football game. 23-6, the Orioles, again, will improve to 5-2 on the year. 3-1 in Hoosier Crossroads Conference action. The loss will drop the Shamrocks to 4-3 overall and 3-2 in Hoosier Crossroads Conference action. But, Coach, when you take a look at the Shamrocks Class 5A, you take even a look at their sectional. It's going to be the Shamrocks, the Kokomo Wildcats, Harrison, and McCutcheon. That's still, or Zionsville, excuse me, that's still a pretty good sectional that the Shamrocks have to be probably favored to win.
Well, they came out the second half and played hard. I mean, if you're Coach Gilbert, you certainly can't, be happy that you lost, but you still got to be pleased the way your kids hung in there. I mean, after the first quarter, it was really pretty much an even game. I mean, Avon got out to a nice lead in tough conditions. They had to, come back in bad weather. They were forced to do some things they normally don't do, but really that first quarter just kind of took the wind out of the sails, and that was the whole ball game. The first 12 minutes were the game.
The Orioles will win this football game 23-6. That means next week they're back home. It is senior night. We welcome everybody to come out to Avon High School for senior night festivities. Coach will be with me. We'll have the pregame show as the Avon Orioles will take on the Zionsville Eagles. Pregame show will be set for 6:45. The kickoff between the Orioles and the Eagles on senior night is 7 o'clock. Once again, your final score from Westfield. The ninth ranked in 6A Avon Orioles defeat the 5A number 7 Westfield Shamrocks 23-6. For Coach Shelbourne, I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining us tonight. Don't worry, you can watch the replay of tonight's game tomorrow on Audio Sports Online, and also make sure you can share that with your friends on YouTube. Just check our YouTube channel at Audio Sports Online. Until next week, so long, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Avon Varsity Football on Audio Sports Online. Tonight's game has been brought to you by McDonald's, Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, and Red Cobra Wrestling. Get a free on-demand replay of tonight's game by visiting audiosportsonline.com. Oriole Football is an audiosportsonline.com production.